back with another video. And today I'm gonna be discussing the 100 signs somebody secretly regrets losing to Pisces, and I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Now, usually when somebody regrets losing to Pisces, they're deeply affected. See, losing a Pisces is just like losing a fish. See, especially one that you liked. And another thing, let's say you used to talk to this person online all the time. Then all of a sudden, boom, the Pisces is like, I'm done. And you don't know how the Pisces is going to leave, how they're going to, stop the whole process of you guys talking all together. So the person could just keep checking your social media. See, that's one of the signs that somebody just secretly regrets regrets losing you, Pisces. So they would just end up, they'll just keep checking their social media, trying to, hoping the little green light will pop up so they could get a hold of you, talk to you, say things like, oh, hey, well, it wasn't like that. Why did you leave? You could have told me, whoop de whoop de whoop. So why is this? Because the curiosity lingers. See, and when it lingers, that is after a meaningful connection ends. So that's how you know it's over with, because you feel it. It's like you feel it, it starts to mess with you. See, another sign is that a person could randomly just start to text you. They might randomly text you, hey, or what you're doing. And you might get that out of the clear blue. It could be a week later, it could be months later, it could just be a year later. And you're like, who is this? And then you go look and see, and you're like, oh, it's this person that I broke up with a month ago. And it's because that person is still testing whether or not the connection is still there. No one's just going to reach out for no reason. The next sign is that the person will start to ask mutual friends that you guys were close to about your whereabouts, what you've been up to, and whatnot. So if a person does that, that's them trying to get updates without contacting you. So it's like, that's why when you are in a relationship with someone, it's not always good to be, friends or have mutual friends, because if you all were close, then when it comes time for you to break up, you decide you don't want to be with them anymore. Now it seems like the friends are sad because, oh, you guys are done talking. So that's one thing. Another sign is that they start to compare their new partners to you. So what's funny is that you may find that the new guy that your ex-girlfriend talks to now looks similar to you, may have the same height, might have the same glasses, hat. It could just be your style. All of a sudden this person looks similar. So that could be a way that they start to compare you, to um their new partner. Now here's why they do that: because they start to notice the qualities about you that they once overlooked. So it could be something about you having, waves, dreads, whatever, low cut, a taper, fade, bald head. It could be any type of hairstyle. And then next thing you know, they overlooked it with you, but with that person, they got the same damn hairstyle that you've had or that you would always get. So that's one thing. Another sign is that the person starts to bring up old memories about how we used to be. Remember when we went fishing? And see, why do they do this? Because bringing up the past, it allows a person to reminisce, and it can make people reflect on what we lost. See, it's like a little strategy at getting back together, in other words. Now, another sign is that the person may apologize long after the breakup. See, so here, why this happens is because as a time, when it comes with time, it comes with time. Okay, so when the time comes, it starts to bring a different perspective, in other words. Okay. So that's why a person may do this when it comes to apologizing long after you guys have already broken up. Like, and that's why it's good to like distance yourself from somebody when you're done, because like I say, every time you see them, every time you talk to them, it's always gonna be these like guilt trip. It's like little things that get you to, think about what we were. It's just all these little things that try to make you feel stuck to the person, and you might not want that. Now, another sign is that the person can suddenly become nicer, and they may not have been like that with you all the time. Or let's just say when you guys got together, they were nice, but then all of a sudden they become even, they become suddenly nicer, and that's done on purpose. And what tends to, I'm gonna tell you why that happens, because that person may be trying to repair the relationship. So this is what they oftentimes do. Another sign is that person may react to your posts more often on social media, and low key, that's their way of taking that low risk to reconnect with you. Now, another sign is that oftentimes the person may mention your name in conversations, and they're doing this because you're still on their mind. Now, another sign is that people oftentimes ask if you're dating someone else, and they're doing this because they're wondering whether or not they've missed their chance, especially if they want to get back with you. Now, another thing is that people oftentimes seem jealous of your success. See, so then all of a sudden they start to see you thrive, and then because you're thriving without them, that can highlight what they've lost. So every time you're in a situation, it's almost like you will start to notice these behaviors once you are, once you are broken, broken up with someone. You guys no longer talk, speaking. Even if it's a friendship, doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be a marriage. It could just be the mere fact. It's still like one of these hot human days. My bad, y'all, with these little extra noises and whatnot. But it is like I'm just dripping in sweat. Okay, so oh my god, bro, I can't wait till this heat wave thing is over with. Okay, so another thing is that let me see what I got for y'all. And this could be something that is annoying, can annoy you, Pisces. I mean, usually when you're done, you've already factored in why you're done with someone. It's not like you broken up just to get back with the same person. Like, you could have been ended their cycle once it was completed, once it was finalized. You're like, okay, I'm done. But then just know the other person might not be done. See, they might not accept it. They could another sign is they bring up jokes, inside jokes, and they're doing this because they want to mention them, the shared memories between the both of you, because it tends to create a sense of connection. Um, and the reason why I say that, be careful not to revisit someone that you no longer want to, speak to on those terms, is because they're going to try to push your boundaries. They're going to try to make you reconnect. See, and sometimes they just want to be the one to end it. Sometimes they just get salty that you ended it first. So it could be a situation of a power struggle in such a way where, oh, you broke up with me and then you didn't even tell me that you were done. So then that could be the reason why. Welcome, Cerise. How you doing? And subscribe if you haven't. Really appreciate it. Another thing that a person may do as another sign when they regret losing the Pisces is that they may try to stay friends. See, they might try to, double down and say, hey, let's just be friends, because they're not ready to lose contact with you. But again, be careful with this, because then they'll still contact you just as much as you guys used to, talk. as if you guys were, together. So playing the friend role could be a situation to, stay connected to you in such a way where, okay, you're not fully done with me and I can still have access to you. Okay. Um, oh, I'm doing okay. What's going, it's just hot. It's super humid and hot. Again, it's like, what is it? Well, it's gotten a little cooler. It's 87 in my state, but it's like all day today. It's been like 99 degrees. So it's just been crazy. And it's been like that the last 3 days. Let me see. Welcome, Misty. How you doing? And we just talking about the 100 reasons. I mean, 100 signs with of how someone when they regret losing a Pisces, like how to know if they regret it, because a lot of times they do, but they hide it, and it's like you'll never really know how someone felt. But as they do these particular things or what I'm mentioning, these signs, it's like you'll start to get it and say, damn, I had a feeling they're still thinking about me, even though it doesn't feel like it doesn't, you haven't seen them do these things face to face. But one thing with social media, I wish that Facebook or like some of the newer, well, it's not so much newer, but I just wish like Facebook had a feature where you could see who looked at your page, like just to kind of have a, in hindsight, just to know who just visited your page and what day and how long ago, because that would be much more helpful. Because then you would definitely know, oh, you such been on my page. Now I knew it was a way around it, but I know it's a little um way you got to do it. In other words, but I don't know how to do that. So yeah, see, oh, you said your Scorpio X does the same thing, and that's the thing. Like Scorpio does things a little different regarding the like they're a little different. Okay, so like they have this manipulation is what they'll go to. So they'll try to make you feel guilty for leaving them, or they'll try to uh make you feel pressure to take them back. So it's little traps that they can set regarding that. Appreciate the hearts, Sharice. And yeah, they can definitely stalk you. That's like a Scorpio's number one go to, is to find out what's going on versus, being on standby regarding phone calls or text messages. They would rather go and stalk and actually go out there and see for themselves. So that's one thing you gotta, be careful with Scorpio. Because Scorpio likes to make things happen. So let's say let's say you had an issue with a person and you felt that a person didn't like you. Let's say you just was like, oh, I got a feeling this person doesn't like me, but they won't say it, and they're, being extremely fake, or and you're like fed up with it, and you tell a Scorpio that the Scorpio is gonna want to go get to the bottom of it, like approach the person and literally just tell them like, yo, what is it? What's the issue with you and my boy? Like, you don't you really what the Scorpio's gonna say is like, you either fuck with him or you don't. Like, what's the problem? Like, and it can be like pressure to where, like, and the Scorpio's just like, yo, if you don't like my homie, man, just say the shit. Like, we ain't finna play these little childish games and whoop de woo. And as they're getting all in this person's face, it forces the person to reveal their true self. Because what it was Scorpio, they're good at uncovering things that are um unsettling things, in other words. So a lot of times they can look at a person, they're good at finding out whether or not a person has a facade. Pisces is good at finding out if a person has an illusion. So Scorpio would be like, oh, this person is not the way that they look, like the way they're coming off emotions, within their facial expressions, they're not like this. And the Scorpio will wait, get in your face, and literally like make you put on your real clothes. Like, it's like, damn, that's seeing the thing about it. Appreciate the star. I mean, I said the star, the sparkles, Misty. The thing about it is Scorpio is very good at get, uncovering the truth. Okay, so it's like if they feel like how you present yourself is not really you, they'll try to like get in your face, confront you to where it will make you put on your real, the clothes that are yours, in other words, instead of someone else's. And it's like you'll be like, damn, you'll react because the way of them getting in your face, they know you're going to react. So once you react, they're like, okay, yeah, I see now it's coming out because you're mad. Like now because you're mad, you're quick to say, well, yeah, yeah, if you got a problem with it, or then that person he has to own it. So the thing with Pisces though, if it was a Pisces that, let's say, they were the ones that were the one that the Scorpio is trying to get to the bottom of something with, then the Pisces knows how to sidestep, outmaneuver Scorpio in such a way that if you get into a Pisces face, they can match your energy to where they could either even more just stubbornly just not even say anything to where they'll just look at you and just be silent, to where that right there will set off a Scorpio, because Scorpio usually doesn't want to let go of someone. So they would rather control the situation and the person because, like I say, a lot of times Scorpios, they're not quick to end a friendship. They would rather solve whatever issues that you guys have and transform from that. But a lot of times that doesn't work because Scorpio will try to say, "Oh, you better stop doing this or stop talking to me like this," or you have ego. You always want stuff to go your way, and then the person can feel like the Scorpio is trying to run them or control them emotionally regarding their actions, and then all of a sudden the Pisces is like, "Look, let me just do me," and but they're not going to say it. See, so what it could be a thing where Scorpio hates that Pisces won't tell them anything. It could be a situation where Scorpio likes to hear your reaction on things. But if they don't get the reaction that they're looking for, let's say in the way that they want you to do it, they get pissed because they want to be able to be the one that made you mad, like the one that made you have to tell them something that you wouldn't have offered to give. So you got to be careful, like with Scorpio, because they can get violent if they fail at getting information out of you. Then they'll start doing other things to get a rise out of you. So you got to be careful. Now, appreciate that Misty. Yeah, please sub and hit the like button. I appreciate it if you do. Helps grow the channel. Now, the thing about it is the person can also bring up inside jokes. So here, like I say, they can bring up shared memories, but that's a way to get you into the mind state, to sense of reconnecting with the person. Now, okay, another sign to look for if a person regrets losing a Pisces is that they tell people that you were different. And why do they do this is because they recognize the qualities that they didn't fully appreciate about you. So a lot of times these little sweet nothings and these little, oh, you got to understand that they want that second chance. See, so once they have already ruined things, they're quick to try to pivot back to how they used to be when things were good, between the both of you. But once they screw up, they do all of these signs in order to get a second chance. But Pisces knows that I can't give you a second chance because they know the second chance means another turn. See, it's like you can't dance between the facade and the illusion. Like you can't play with fire once you've already burned something up. If you burn the relationship by your actions, then it's over. That's the final completion of the cycle because the Pisces knows that when a person tries to pivot back to being nice again or being nicer, that goes to the facade and the illusion. See, it goes back to I want you to believe that I'm still nice, like that I'm even more nice than you think I am, or that I was to you, like in order to change your mind about me as to why you broke up with me. See, and then all of a sudden, as they're trying to save face and get another, chance, what are what are you faced with regarding that person? You're faced with their facade and their illusion. See, because now as they try to pivot, because they know you broke up with them for being one way. See, and then all of a sudden they're trying to, oh, wait a minute, let me show you a better situation, but it's temporary. So 9 times 10 they're going to pivot back to the facade. See, and try to wear the mask with different facial expressions, but trying to play on your empathy and your compassion to get you, to re-sign the deal. So you can't fall for this, because some people would do anything to get you to reconnect. And then as soon as you reconnect, they burn you. They either break up with you because they wanted to do it first. They feel as though if you do it to them, they can't live with the results because you broke up with them first. And then with some people, they want to be able to have that justice, like, oh, I broke up with you, as if they're rewriting history, like, oh, I actually left you. And they want to walk away with that, with the you know they want to walk away with that instead of the other way around, because it makes them feel comfortable. See, mostly comfortable, justified, even though it's petty at times, but that's just the way people oftentimes like to do things. It's never about reconnecting. It's all about the mere fact that you broke up with them. See, it's like, some people just can't stand to even think about it, to know, oh, somebody broke up with me and they did it first. So a person knows, oh, yeah, 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 I got to do everything in my power to get back. But then I'm going to be the one to leave you, you know, hot and dry, because, oh, how dare you do this to me? See, so you got to know, those could be the games that's being played. Now, one thing you got to watch out for is the word never. See, when you, this is a big sign, because like, a person can really try to pull on your heartstrings, even if you're a man. They can say things like, oh, I never found anyone like you. And that can really simmer and really, dig deep into you, to where, oh, it make you feel some type of way. And then that's how they get you, to give them another chance. So what they're doing when they do this is they're comparing new experiences to the past. And notice that everything gets pivoted back to the past of how things used to be. Why wasn't that why wasn't that thought of when they did, they did the dirt to ruin the relationship? You see how it goes, until you break up with someone and really remove yourself from them, is when they start to try to go backwards. See, as if they already knew what they were doing, because they did. It's like, you know, if you messed up, if you screwed up. So why did you screw up? Because they thought you were going to give them a second chance. See, you got to understand, like, and I have a situation. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's like a personal situation, but like, I knew I knew a guy that he messed up with his wife, right? And I ain't going to say no names or nothing, but he messed up with his wife, and he was a Taurus, and his wife was a Pisces. And what he did was, he had made mistakes in the past, right? And the Pisces gave him another chance, and then got back with him, took him back. And then it's like the final straw. He did something else, but he tried to get the pattern. See, he tried to get the pattern, and nope, the cycle got cut, because that's the thing. People think that, oh, you got back with me when I did this, so, oh, if I do another bad thing, you'll just give me another chance and we'll just, kick this under the rug. And it's like, nah. The pattern, remember I said, if you do something to a Pisces, whether you hurt them or you do something, it happens only one time. See, you don't get a second chance. And even if it looks like you're gonna get one, it's an illusion, bro. Like, the illusion would make you think, oh, I'm gonna get another chance, so I'm good. I can go out with my boys and go to strip club and cheat. And then once you get home, you don't even realize the Pisces has already caught you red-handed 2 weeks ago before you even went to the club. See, sometimes a Pisces is just like, okay, they're trying to plan their way of escape. They're not even focused on you anymore because mentally, emotionally, they're done with you. They're just trying to find a, they're just trying to catch their flight. They're like, yo, I gotta find a way to where I'm going, when and how, and what it is. They don't want to track a whole lot of attention to themselves when they're planning to leave. In other words, because it's gonna be an escape. It's gonna be an escape from situation because they don't want to go into confrontation with you about why they don't want to be with you and the fact you cheated and who was it that you cheated with. They don't want to know any of that. Now, another thing is that people oftentimes are surprised that you have moved on, Pisces. So it could be a situation where they may have thought you were comfortable, knee deep into the situation, that you wouldn't leave them because you were just so comfortable in the situation with them. That's never the case though, because sometimes people expect the other person to wait for them. See, such as waiting for them to change, waiting for them to do things on their terms. That's why I always tell people, like, you can't you cannot change someone from who they are. They have to change their own, they have to change themselves, and or they have to change themselves, and you can't you cannot change them at all, okay? And why do I say that in the emphasis? Because a lot of times people are going to expect you to wait. They're going to expect you to like, so it's like, let me go out here and do my dirt, but it's intentional. So then it turns into a waiting game of, oh, how long will you wait until I change? And that could be years. That could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years later. See, when the person is tired. That's why you can find someone that's of age. It doesn't matter, a male or female. Next thing you know, they get to a certain age where they get tired of doing, their BS or the things they used to do that wasn't really something that's other people would be happy about. It's like as soon as they get tired, then they want to change. See? But then it's like they can say that they're a free agent, but sometimes it's like you gotta be careful because that person might be used up. Like they probably been with a hella amount of people, and then it's like boom, now you want to change because you're tired of partying, you're tired of going out doing things. So now it's like, oh, now I want to change, and now I want to be a good Samaritan now, or a good husband or a good wife now. And the problem is that you can't assume that someone's going to want you where when you decided, and that go for everybody, when you decided to change, because like I say, it might not be there or it could be there, but you just can't like put it into a guaranteed situation. Now, another thing is the person may have the audacity to ask you if you've changed, and what they're trying to gauge here is they're very curious about the person that you've become since you have left them alone. So that's a little game. That's why I tell people, if you're done with somebody, just be done, bro. Because the worst thing is that person thinks they know you, and when you do different stuff other than what someone knows of you, then they think that, oh, you'll come back. See, it's like, oh, I know I probably pissed you off, or yeah, 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 but you'll end up coming back, and it's like, no, I'm really done. See, and that's why you gotta just not connect. You gotta just be done. And see, be very careful because the person can become manipulative with this. They can reach out to you on birthdays or holidays just to get that one-to-one interaction with you. See, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you got something for me for my birthday? Yeah, I got you something, and I hope you like it. And then that's manipulation, and just to get y'all together, because any other day you wouldn't even be bothered with this person, or you wouldn't even want them to be in your vicinity, in your little your vicinity or in your face whatsoever, your space. So that's something to watch out for. Another thing is that they notice your silence. So let's say you guys, in regards to communication, let's say you guys text often or you call them from time to time during the day, all of a sudden they notice the silence. Now the person realizes your absence. They're like, oh, your absence becomes more noticeable than your presence once was. So now it's like, damn, you ain't talking. So that's how they know you're done. See, when you're not texting anymore or, whatsoever, they realize that you're silent. They may also miss your loyalty, even though the situation went left, even though the situation went sour. The loyalty is easier to appreciate after it's gone, which most people always, tend to do this. Um, and the fact that they may have, been in a situation where they regret losing you, Pisces, because they miss your patience. So they can realize that, oh, not everyone gives as many chances because, like I say, sometimes it could be a situation where a Pisces could have gave you the time of the day. They could actually listen to you vent, talk to you about different subjects, and like I say, give you chances when other folks you do it one time, done. But like I say, that's why I'm trying to, basically uh help Pisces by saying that, you have to use your best judgment when it comes to chances because if it all depends on what happened. See, because if it was something that was not, too bad, it could, you can give them a chance. If it was just something like, oh, something petty or just something that wasn't a big deal. But if it's some type of form of disrespect, obviously you will have to cut them off, bro. It's like certain stuff you just can't let it slide. Now, a person can also miss how understood they felt by you as well. That's another thing with Pisces because it's different. You, in regards to the emotional support, it's different how a Pisces responds to you or understands how what you're saying where you don't have to explain it. But let's say you start to try to have that same conversation with another person that's not a Pisces. You might not get the same treatment. And then people realize that what they had versus what they have now in comparison, they're like, this ain't nothing like my old situation. See, most time a Pisces will sit there and listen to you and then you might find somebody that might cut you off or not let you finish and it's like a whole different vibe. But that's the thing, like that tends to happen. Now another sign is a person could regret taking you for granted, losing you altogether because of what they were familiar with. And sometimes that familiarity, it tends to hide someone's value. See, so that's why you gotta, like, before you go out and cheat, I had to learn this myself. Always look at the whole picture, bro, because it might be one or two things that you don't like about the person you're with that you don't feel they do enough of, or, it could be anything that, the way they speak, anything. You don't want to trade that for a temporary fling or something just because it feels good in the moment. Always look at the whole picture, like, and who will it affect? Because it won't just be you if you have children together. Um, Another thing is that they may okay, they may miss your peace. So let's say the way you used to chill and just the whole environment of it changing when the Pisces was just, just being in their own little, their own little zone, chill. People oftentimes realize that that was rare about you, Pisces. So that could be a sign as well. Now, why do I say this? Because it could be constant drama somewhere else, see, with another person. And a person would definitely realize what they've lost. Now, they can remember your advice, the experience later proves your perspectives on things was useful. So that's why they always say you don't realize what you missed until they're gone type of situation. They may have wondered what could have been or what they could have been with you, to the point where, let's say, it could be a lot of different situations that were unfinished. The person may have felt like, oh, we could have had, children together. We could have went on vacations or whatnot, or just went, done other things together that we didn't get to do. So that could be a situation that makes the person regret you, Pisces, in a way where they're still curious about those things. Uh, now here's the thing: you could be you could end up being a reference. Okay, so let's say the person is comparing every relationship that they've had thus far to you. It could be a situation where the relationship becomes a reference point. They start trying to, it's like they try to compare everything to how the relationship was between you and the Pisces, because it was something that they enjoyed or something that made them feel comfortable. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, and then that's the thing you got to be careful about, because, and I'm speaking to the person that's doing this. If you're, going to your new mate and then you're telling them that, oh, well, you're comparing them to the Pisces situation that you used to be in. And it's like, oh, well, I never had this issue. And yeah, my Pisces ex, they never had an issue or never done this to me or never said something or had a problem with this. And that's what you got to watch out. You got to watch out, because when people feel like you're comparing them to someone, then they feel like, oh, they don't measure up. They feel like, oh, you're still stuck on someone else, which they are, because you wouldn't be using that as that a relationship that you once had as a reference point. Now, yeah, so no, it's not a Pisces channel. It's just that it's no fuss given. So it's really just me not not holding back anymore, because like I say, the old way that I used to run my channel, because I changed my name, was that I had a different outlook, which was more um about the elevation of, a person being woke, meaning, when I used to talk about the angelic numerical numbers, which I'm not done with that type of, information. It's just that I felt that that type of knowledge was, I felt like it went over heads, because like you could really be in a situation where you're more advanced, and then you start talking about things where people are literally not there yet, or they're just not interested. So I had to just switch it up, because like I just realized everything I was talking about was just went over people's heads, to where I was just like, okay, I gotta, bring it down a notch and just uh talk about what people know, what they're familiar with. So um I really did it for you guys. So like I say, um it's not just a Pisces channel. I really, the craziest thing is this: and I know I'm kind of like, yapping, but it's a lot to break down and say about. It's not, can't just give you just a one answer thing, because like I say, it's a huge situation why. But I will say this: this is a better situation. I could do other signs, talk about other zodiac signs. The crazy thing is that I have hundreds of freaking content for Pisces. Hundreds. You gotta understand, like, I've been doing this for what, 4 or 5 years, I think now, or maybe wait, I think it was like, don't quote me, but I know it's been a minute. And the crazy thing is that I sat there on all these videos, and I'm like, dude, I'm literally, my phones. That's why I got so many phones, because the gigabytes, all the freaking storage is full. I even had to buy 5 terabytes from Google. Like, that's just how much shit I have. I got so much stuff that is so crazy. That's why I'm still on Pisces. But I try to switch it up, you guys. I try to throw like, okay, if I do so many Pisces videos, then I'll start talking about Aquarius or, go into a whole different subject. But what it is I have to look at most of my viewers are Pisces. That's the whole reason why I've been doing so many Pisces videos. See, so when I start getting other signs as, viewers or whatnot, then it's like boom, I could just start releasing more. Otherwise, those videos was just literally sit there and they just, it's kind of like they're up, but there's like nobody's watching it because, like I say, the viewers are mostly Pisces. Now, another thing is I know more than just about, like I say, now it's not just about the sun sign as well. I say this because most people say like, oh, like I've had people ask me like, oh, it's not all about the sun sign. There's the rising, there's this. I was like, of course, I know those things already, but I have to make my channel different from other astrologer channels because see, if you if you're doing the same thing as other channels, there's nothing special about yours if you're just gonna do the same thing. So mine, I go into the actual personalities, the compatibilities, the symbolism. Are going deeper into the depths of what sign has, their qualities, their personality, the just everything. I don't every little nook and cranny I cover it. So and no one else is doing this. See, everybody's talking about, tarot. They're going off into a different direction with it to where it to me it's like people want to know why do people regret losing the Pisces. People want to know these things, like because think about it, you can be with a Pisces and then lose a Pisces, and now you're like, oh, what comes now? You have all these question marks in your mind, like, oh, well, why this, why that, and a lot of things that I covered can help a person relax because now it's like, oh, well, I see why. You know, it's an answer to everything, bro. Like I used to be the type of person where I just like, okay, I was like thinking that I just let everything just blow past. And I'm like, nah, bro, you have to have closure to yourself. You have to complete your own cycles of everything. You can't just leave something out there just because you don't want to deal with it. That's why I talk so much because I realize that I have to. It's a lot of things that approach you and everyone wants to ignore it. I just deal with it and just end the cycle, complete it so it's finalized. So that way there's no going back. See? Let me see. Haitian, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't said okay. So I have a question. So I'm a Leo. I've been dating a Taurus. We've been bumping heads. Uh he blocked me because I didn't want to move forward. Said it within the relationship at his pace. Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, that's a bad combination. I ain't gonna lie to you. Uh, see, Taurus has to go. See, I'm gonna tell you when it comes to the Earth signs. See, they actually do better with. They actually do better off with. I have it in my head. See, with the Leo, the fire signs is not it for them. See, they have to go for like the other Earth signs as well. Virgo. See, they need to stay away from water signs because one thing with Taurus is more of a dry energy. It's like a down to earth type of energy to where everything is about routine. See, it's all about routine. They don't like any type of change. They don't like anything that makes them have to think about something else or factor in another situation, especially when it comes to listening to others. Nope. See, and the problem is with the Leo, you're more fixed and it's more like you actually will say things, try new things, want to get out more, want to uh you don't want to do the same old thing, especially if it's not working. So if he blocked you, that's probably because because I'm gonna tell you another thing about Taurus, man, is that they can be emotionally immature. See, because they don't like to show how they feel about things. So that's why it comes out weird. It comes out in a more controlling way. So they can do things like block you, step away from you for a couple days, those type of things, because they do not want to show you any emotion whatsoever. See, and I'm gonna tell you why, because it's really, really pissing them off, and they just don't want to. They don't want you to see it. See, now, another thing is, okay, so what you have to watch out for, let's say for a Leo, you might enjoy things like recognition, appreciation, but a Taurus man, like I say, they value consistency, stability. See, so that could be the case. Let me see. You said, but the funny thing is, he blocked me for 40 days. And when I said something about it, he said, because Jesus suffered for 40 days, and what's wrong with them? So the thing is, if he feels like he's suffering, then yeah, that's the best thing to do, is just to, leave him alone, because one thing about it is that he could possibly be trying to control you. See, maybe he feels like you run the show, or maybe you've been, doing all the planning and thinking, making everything happen, and he feels like, oh, well, I'll just let you just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do everything. And then he starts using these little, I'm suffering and I'm this, and that goes into the emotional, uh the childish, being emotionally immature behavior. It's like, then he starts doing those things where, oh, he's trying to deflect onto you. See, make it seem like, oh, you're causing some type of, suffering for him, and then, but really he could be that way to you. See, let me see. You said, he wants me to submit to him. Yeah, that's another thing too. It said, but I can't. I'm a Leo. I submit to no one but God. Yeah, that's the thing. So when you dealing with someone that seeks after comfort, the Taurus, and then you're dealing with someone that seeks after the stage. See, with Leo, it's all about recognition. Because one thing about Leos, I hear a lot of Leos say this: if only they had somebody treat them how they treat people, because you have a good heart. So a lot of times when you're seeking after what's good for the heart, what is the Taurus seeking after? Comfort. See, seeking after comfort and, possessions, lean cuisines, the finest moments, the finest of this, nice furniture, different little things that's like, it's materialistic. See, that's the Venus influence on Taurus. Now, I'm gonna tell you, when you see, Taurus likes to be into a situation where the routines are predictable. See, so if you do anything outside of that they can't figure out, or they don't know when you're doing certain things, they don't get the heads up, no type of blueprint or any type of thing where they can actually control the situation in their own hands, is not going to work. See, and one thing about it is, with Leos, what you had just said, Haitian, is the pride. See, even though you're doing it for the right reasons, you put it for God only, but when the whole submission, if you, let me ask you a question: are you guys married? Because then that's a whole different factor. But and that's the thing, you gotta watch out for it, because Leos, they like things, they like excitement, uh they like the whole spontaneity, where they can like get out, go and do things, and expression is a big factor for Leo. Expression. So they like to express themselves, and then they like to, have it reciprocated. But this the thing with Taurus, is so stubborn that they do not budge on their views. Fixed earth, they don't budge. If they see something, Put it like this: if they look at a package and it says batteries included, guess what? They're buying into that situation because the batteries, they have the expectation those batteries better be in this box because that's why I'm buying it. And guess what? If the batteries are not in there, they're gonna have a fit. See, they're gonna blow a fuse because the batteries are not in there. Now, how would they go into the situation? Well, they'll try to hide their emotions, even though they're pissed. See, they'll go into the store and say, "Oh, yeah, I just bought these battery, or I just bought this, this universal remote, and it said batteries included, but it's not there." And then they say, "Oh, we'll just give you another one, sir." And then he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he'll be making it seem like, "Oh yeah, man, I bought a universal remote and it didn't even have the damn batteries in there." But he could be really, really pissed off inside, but he's not gonna show it or let it be known that he's emotional about it. And that's how he can be with relationships. He can be in a situation where he's really, really feeling something like deep on. It could be like a resentment to where he may be upset that he has stayed in a situation far too long, other than what he was initially trying to do. So it's like he might feel like, damn, I stayed too long in this, and I don't know why. He could be blaming his mistakes and projecting them onto you because he wants an excuse to be out of something, but he also can be escaping something. See, that he doesn't want you to know about. That's why he could be, oh, harping on the whole "I'm suffering" thing. See, because that's a form of control. I mean, I'll say this with Taurus, man. They really be trying to control things, like, and control people. Now, it was something I was gonna say. Now, what you gotta watch out for. Let me see here. Okay, so it's hot as a mug, y'all. Let me see. Okay, so what you dealing with as well is pride versus stubborn. See, stubbornness. When you dealing with the stubbornness of a Taurus, it is the worst feeling in the world. Like, I'm gonna tell you, what Taurus can have you feeling like, um, and I'm gonna tell you, Taurus is the one you gotta watch out for. Because Taurus is always trying to make everything seem like it's not serious. It's like they always smiling and being friend, trying to be all chill and calm about things, but then they really boiling inside. See, you got to think you're really dealing with a raging bull. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, look, LV Pisces, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't said, "Yup, I'm a Pisces." That's dating a Taurus. So here's the problem when it's pride versus stubbornness. Okay, neither one of y'all want to admit that y'all wrong. That's why the whole rigmarole keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Neither one of y'all want to admit that neither one of you want to admit that you were wrong. So this could go on for days on end because, and the one thing about Taurus, they love arguing. See, they love kicking up BS. When you look at if you if you imagine and look at a bull in a bull's pen, and then once they start kicking up mud, they start thinking it's funny when they start kicking their shit around for other people to have to lay in it and mess up in it. They know exactly what they're doing. It's fixed energy. Now, let's say for example, the argument lasts for days on end, like I said, because both of you are waiting for the other person to apologize first. See that? Now, what can happen is, as a result, is the small disagreements become much bigger. So it could have started off with you and your man. It could have started off small, And then it grew into a huge issue because one thing with Taurus, Taurus holds resentment, they hold grudges. Their opposite polarity is Scorpio, and they don't, bro, listen. They will be literally sitting on something that happened years ago and still have the same energy today. And it's like, dude, you still mad about that situation? Emotionally immature. See, because he doesn't be when you fight your emotions pertaining to how you feel, it's not good because when you're upset, you're supposed to be upset. Not with Taurus. Taurus wants to be happy or wants to look like they got it all together. Or they want to look unbothered. They want to look like, I'm cool. I'm fine. That's the stubbornness. I'm fine. Ain't nothing wrong with me. And it's like they trying to hide it. So what they do is try to stomach the emotions that was used for that particular situation. See? And that's how they should have responded, but they didn't. They save it. And then all of a sudden, you don't know when the bull is gonna act up, bro. Because it doesn't take much to rile up the bull, the Taurus. See, you can literally sit down, you can literally sit down after coming off, work, and the Taurus will literally hold a grudge and still be mad. Look, he'll look upset. And literally, that right there in itself will trigger you. You will feel it. You will be like, damn, every time I'm around you, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like my spirit is down around you because that's one thing with Taurus. They try to control the environment with how they feel and make everybody, even the kids, feel it. The kids will be afraid to even go near the Taurus when he acts like this. Oh, Dad, you got a mean face, or what's going on? What did I do? You got to be careful, man. And then here's another thing: when you're dealing with Leo woman and a Taurus man, you're dealing with attention versus privacy. See, so let's say a Leo woman may enjoy attention and appreciation, while a Taurus man may show love more quietly. That is what you gotta watch out for with Taurus because they can literally show love quietly. So that means when they cheat quietly. It's cold blooded. They could be arguing with you, making it seem like they just mad all the time, but then they can be sneaking off into somebody else's bedroom showing love, but they doing it quietly. That's that Scorpio polarity, I'm telling you. See? And you wouldn't even be able to match that. You would not be able to fully identify, digest, accept what they just done. You like, yo, you this angry, you know what? When you with me, but when you with this other woman, you a whole completely different person. That's Taurus. See? Now, I'm gonna tell you. See, when a Taurus man say, "Oh, you need to submit," they really trying to control you. See, so that they can do their bullshit too. See, and you not say nothing about it. Now, another thing is that see, the Leo woman wants verbal affection, but the thing with this is the problem though with Taurus, he assumes his actions are enough. See, he's lazy. That's why I try to, I don't, he's lazy, man. This is why I say my channel's no fuss giving. So anybody that, is a Taurus in the house and you like, man, I'm being rough around the edges or disrespectful, I'm not. This is just me that no fuss giving, man. It is what it is. But one thing about him is, like I say, he assumes his actions are enough. So he doesn't want to do a whole lot. See, for you. He might even put it like this. You can have a family gathering. He doesn't even want to go to that shit. But if you cook at home, he's cool with that. But he don't want to do too much. But just go to work and eat. He is all he want to do is go to work and eat. That's it. See? And then do a little, a little sex on the side. That's it. He don't want to do too much. So when you try to really involve him as a Leo, he's lazy. See? He's lazy, so he's gonna make it seem like, oh, I'm suffering and I'm suffering, because he's trying to control. That's the manipulation. He's trying to get you to feel guilty. See? Trying to get you to feel guilty by the way you are. Now, another thing is that the Leo suffers because she may feel overlooked. See, like she's not even there as his wife or girlfriend. And then the Taurus may feel misunderstood because he's always going to be bouncing that story off of between you two to somebody that doesn't give a shit about him. And you see, you, you see what she's doing, right? And then tell me why she cooked some greens and some chicken. And then I went to work, mind you, I did 12 hours. And then I got home and then the kids was eating before me. And it's like, bro, you mad because the kids was eating before you? Well, hell, I worked 12 hours. Like he really got an issue with see, one thing with Taurus, they get really emotionally affected by things that it wasn't even like that. He thinks somebody trying to like clown him, in other words. See? But then he'll really harp on it like because he will really show his emotions to someone that doesn't know him. You would know exactly how he feels because that's when he starts to vent about all that shit that's caked up, the emotions. He tells it to his friends, the people that are usually jealous of him and his situation. And then he'll tell you what he does. He takes their advice. See, he'll take a stranger's advice of someone that doesn't give a shit about him first before his own family. Now, another thing is that Leos, they like to, like I say, in this expression, they like to spend. If they have extra money, they like to go out and, buy themselves things. Where when you're dealing with a Taurus, all they want to do is save everything. See? Now, the problem is that they may have different financial priorities between the both of them. So let's say that a Leo woman, she wants a luxury vacation, while the Taurus wants to save or invest his money. Because mind you, the Taurus can have like 15 grand in the bank and be acting like he only got $1,000 to his name. See, he's a cheapskate to where if he goes and gets a car, he's gonna get a car that the payment is literally like damn near $150 a month. But he's sitting on 15 grand. But he acting cheap. See, he's acting cheap as hell. So he'll want to do cheap things. And that's going to piss off a Leo because he's going to be like, oh, or how much is it going to be to go on that vacation? And then she'd be like, oh, it's only going to be, 3,500. Then he'll be like, oh, no, that's kind of steep. What you mean that's kind of steep? You got like 15 grand in the bank. But that's just how stingy and just fixed that the Taurus can be. Like he literally doesn't want to spend any money. But here's the thing. See, he can put it like this. He can make a big deal about the money, right? To the point where you guys have money disagreements because you guys don't communicate. You gotta communicate with the Taurus, even if he doesn't want to, because he can really hide his money. If it gets bad, he can hide his money. Oh, I know a Taurus right now that hides his money from his wife. Could you could you really imagine your wife? You won't even tell her how much money you really have? The man got two different bank accounts. And you know why he said, sounding like a damn Scorpio, opposite polarity. This man said, "Oh man, I got to have, hey man, I got to hold on to this money, man, just in case some shit go down, man, with me and old girl." Why are you with her then, bro? See, and the whole thing is this man had thousands of dollars in that other account, but then he's playing it cheap and trying to budget with the main account. See, so that's why I be saying you gotta be careful because Tauruses can be both. They can be sneaky. Now, Leo, Leos and Taurus, they have different communication styles. So the problem here is that Leo oftentimes may express her emotions. See, and she does it right away. But with Taurus, he needs time before talking about his emotions. He ain't comfortable with just telling you how he feels in the moment. Nope. He takes too long. I understand. He takes a couple of days, couple of weeks just to respond to something that you may have asked him. You could have been like, "Yo, we could go." You could be like, "Yo, we should move over here in a different area." And then he can't even give you a answer until a week later. And then this is how it'll go. He'll be like, "Oh," you'll be like, "Oh, I found an area we should move to." "Oh, really?" And then he'll say something like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that." And then, oh, 2 weeks later, yeah, you still looking at that house that you was telling me about? Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna have to hold off on that one. It's kind of steep. I ain't really trying to, I'm trying to, what we're paying over here, we might as well stay out, because one thing with Taurus, he will go against you with decisions. Even if you're right, even if your idea was the move to take. He's so stubborn in his thoughts that he will, even if he's wrong, he really, really wants to be right. So he will follow he's gonna always go with what he thinks. Fix Earth. Whatever he thinks he's gonna stick to. And you cannot change his mind. See, now another thing is that with a Leo, she wants to solve the issues that she has with the Taurus right away. Problem is, the Taurus wants to think first. See, he wants to think first because he will come up with a freaking plot, bro. A plan. What does a plan have to come with an issue? See how he's already thinking ahead. He's already plotting something. See, you can't trust Tauruses, bro, like you think you could, bro. It would have to be one that's mature, healthy, just has a good spirit. See, but the uninvolved, man. See, I'm gonna tell you what happens as a result. One ends up feeling ignored. Like you would probably feel as a Leo like he just completely just blew you off, like as if you ain't said nothing. Then, then the Taurus, the craziest thing about him, as he uses projection, is he will feel pressure. It's cold blooded when he's pressuring you. See, by like, and what I mean, how he pressures you and through manipulation, he makes it seem like you're pressuring him when he's pressuring you and not listening to you. See that makes you feel ignored. Now, the jealousy. Tauruses are the most jealous zodiac sign. I keep saying that. They have the heavyweight championship title of the world for that. And here's the thing. They're not going to lose their belt anytime soon. So, the problem why they're so jealous is Taurus is the most insecure of the zodiacs. Oh, it makes sense why they'll go to the Virgo. See, because they got something in common. Now, here's the thing, the lack of reassurance. See, it can create tension. Because Taurus, when they say you're not submitting, they want a partner that's going to kiss their ass, bro. And not many women are going to do it. But Virgo will. If he got that money on, Virgo don't see, Virgo is all practical. and pays attention to details. So she's gonna get with the Taurus man because of stability, see, comfort. So she's like, oh, I ain't gotta work as much. I'll let him do all the working. And he wants to do all the working. Oh, you wanna eat? Well, guess what? I got some Medea spaghetti waiting on you when you get off. And yeah, I'm an empty nester, so won't be any kids around, so you could just pig out. He's always gonna want to go to the easiest situation because he don't want to do too much. He don't want to do too much. That's what it is. See, now here's the problem. See, one partner feels uncomfortable with attention from other people as well. So the craziest thing is if the Taurus is with you, he's with you. He doesn't even want to be around your family because he's insecure. Every time he got to go to a cookout, he don't want to go. He won't even say hello to people that live in the neighborhood. He don't want to do too much. He'll have a best friend that stays across the street in the neighborhood. He won't even, if he was to move away, he wouldn't even go say bye. Because he don't want to look like, oh, he couldn't handle the you know, the whole the property, the payment, whatever it was. He overthinks and thinks that everyone is thinking about his downfall, like, oh, like they're laughing in his face if he has to move from maybe a uppity community or something. If he's paying top dollar for a house and he decides to move, then he's worried about, oh, what are they gonna think about me if I go over there and say bye? Oh, they're gonna be thinking that I couldn't afford it. See how insecure the Taurus gets, so then he won't even say bye. See, then you could be arguing about trust, and guess what? That could be happening the whole time. But it's happen. See, here's the thing: the arguments are about trust, but then he's arguing with you about you not submitting. See how he literally just blows the shit out the water because he doesn't want to face the things that he's doing. See, that's the thing. Like he could be doing, behaviors that make the trust. It's like, oh, it can make the trust difficult. Difficult. You could have difficulty trusting him because of how he behaves. See, just his mannerism, just how he does things. Now, another thing you gotta watch out for is control, and that's because both of you may want things done your own way. Um, you can disagree about major decisions like the finances or living arrangements, but this is all going to start power struggles. See, so like I say, here you have the routine versus the adventure. So here, let's say the Taurus oftentimes, as I mentioned, because they're good with stability, and they like stability, they like comfort. So you have that, and then the Leo enjoys trying new things. See, she's very adventurous. So here's the problem. Let's say one night, one wants a quiet weekend at home. Then all of a sudden, the other wants to go out. See how that's automatically a tension? That's already two people wanting to do two different things. So what ends up happening is the frustration sets in because neither one of you guys will compromise. See, now the appreciation here, I'm gonna tell you how this looks. So a Leo woman, like I said, they can want more praise, while Taurus may believe that the loyalty speaks for itself. As I mentioned, they don't want to do too much. So let's say the Leo woman wants to hear "I appreciate you" more from the Taurus, but then the Taurus ends up thinking that showing up is enough. See, he's always going to do very little movement, very little. He doesn't want to do too much. Now, as a result, both of you have different love language. See, both of you have different love languages, and that in itself is going to create misunderstandings. That's why I said when you told me you was dating a Taurus, I said, no, that is not a match, bro. That's not a match. See, that's not a match, but I'm gonna start doing more videos about compatibility because it made me laugh. Because as soon as you said that, I instantly seen clear as day the stubbornness and then the pride. I'm like, oh, that ain't gonna go. That is not gonna go. Now, another thing is that um with Taurus, as I mentioned, they hold grudges. Okay, the opposite polarity is Scorpio. Here's the problem though. See, hurt feelings, they linger if the situation is not fully discussed. So the lack of communication is the issue. So if you could get that communication on board, then it can work. But the Taurus they have to be flexible. See, because one thing with Taurus, bro, it's a one-way trail, a one-way situation. They don't see no other way. So it's very hard to get them to compromise. Now, another issue, like I say, it could be an issue. Let's just say months ago, there was an issue. And then all of a sudden, it just keeps resurfacing. And you like, we already talked about this 2 months ago. And it gets brought back up because the Taurus keeps bringing it back up. It's like, say you guys squash something between the two of you, got to understand it. You talked about it. Hell, y'all made up about it. Then 2 weeks later, he just brings it up again as if it just happened. He's like, oh, yeah, 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 like you did last time when you said that I blocked you. Then it's like, I know you didn't bring that shit up again. See? And then that's the little thing where it creates this whole like frustration within you. Like, are we really getting around things? Are we really solving things? Or this is just a like a match? You want to face off with me every day. And that's the bull. See, that's the bull creating bullshit. His bullshit gets kicked up to where that's an escape for him to deal with the real shit that's going on that he's not talking about. See? So that's why I say, like, you gotta be careful. Now, one thing about it is that the resentment, it builds and builds and builds and builds. And resentment is anger, is suppressed anger. So you gotta understand with a lot of times, just like the bull, a real bull is angry. It's like it even if you put a bull in the middle of nowhere, every so often he's really blowing steam like, and then his tail does the little thing. You watch a bull, and it's like every little thing sets him off to where it don't take much to piss off a bull. See? And literally the Taurus doesn't want to do too much because he's gonna get mad. He don't want to do too much. So if he feels like something's making him do more than he's willing to do, he's gonna snap. But here's the problem. He snaps indirectly. It's cold-blooded. He's not snapping because of what happened. What he's trying to do is he's trying to make it seem like, oh, something else is going on, like you doing something to him. And then that gives him the right to just snap, just to go off just because he wanted to. See? And you be confused, like, yo, what's going on? Like, why are you so angry? See? That's what I'm saying. And then I'm telling you, if he sits on that suppressed anger, he gets depressed. See? And then he won't go get medication for it. It's cold-blooded. See? Oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just that you won't submit. You won't submit. I tell you, I work every damn day, and he'll keep harping on the same. I'm gonna tell you, he would literally harp on the same subjects, the same shit. He would say it over and 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 over, and you would literally be like, "Yo, this is his favorite phrase. I've been at work all damn day. So the fuck what? Grow up, dude. Grow up, man." See? He don't want to do too much. That's the best phrase that sums him up. Now, as I mentioned, another thing is he refuses to compromise. And now both of you, like I say, can be determined once you guys made up your minds, but neither one of y'all want to change plans after you decide something. So the relationship, it could become a stuck situation for you. See? Because if you guys get married and you guys can't talk about things, oh, that's a huge problem. But I'm gonna tell you, that's just a little bit about the negatives. But the good thing is that uh there's a strength, there's strengths involved. So if you guys could communicate well, as I mentioned, then it can work. See? Because then you have loyalty, you have commitment, you have protectiveness, you have affection and long-term stability. So, like I say, if you could work on that, just the communication between the two of you, Haitian, definitely can work. But like I say, the whole challenge is to get him to communicate. Cause I'm telling you that he's the type of person, I'll say this, that if you want to talk to him about something, he always wants to do it on his terms. Cause he will blow you off. He will say, I'm not dealing with that. I already told you, or he might say something like that to where it could be a very serious situation for you to resolve, but with him, oh, I ain't ready to talk about it yet. See, and it's like, oh, he might bring it back up when you forgot about it or you are already got your mind, on something else. And he can literally piss you off because he can literally bring up something. And he does this shit on purpose. He'll bring it up when you're going to work out or you're going to do something. And then he'll be like, "Oh, you know, I wanted to talk to you about something." He had that serious face. And then you be like, "What's going on?" He'd be like, "Yeah, the shit you said to me last week, I didn't like not one bit of it. Like I found it to be very, very disrespectful. And me, as I go to work every day and I look, you got clean clothes on, he just literally just spazzes out for no reason at the wrong fucking time, bro. You like, yo, it ain't no way you could still be on this type of shit like weeks later, bro. So that's just like, Taurus is like, I will say they're very, stable, but it's like you really can't rely on them unless they're willing to communicate. Now, let me see. Yeah, definitely. How do y'all feel about Taurus? But I mean, like I say, not all Tauruses are. I'm not saying they're bad people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the personalities because, like, sometimes you can't always talk about the good unless you talk about the bad too. So it's like every sign has good qualities and bad qualities. Like, and it's like some some signs mesh well with other, with certain signs. So it's like you don't want to be like a Pisces and then you get with, let's say, a Sag. Y'all gonna have difficulties, unless you guys are willing to compromise because a Sag has a different way of looking at things and you have a different way of looking at things. But the problem is with Sagittarius and Pisces, it could be difficult because Sagittarius doesn't like how Pisces looks at things, or it could be a situation where Sagittarius does something the Pisces hates. See, that's something like it could be a big, huge disappointment for Pisces, such as I remember a Sagittarius woman telling me that she had a fast five, and I'm thinking like, what does that mean? Just like you, and then she's like, oh, she has five different types of guys with different personalities that she, that she deals with from day to day. And I was like, oh, really? So, you know, that right there made me not want to talk to her because that to me is like, why do you need a different guy with a different personality just to feel not vulnerable because she said like she wasn't gonna get played or in these things, and it's like she had told me she has a guy for different reasons. So she has a guy that's a thug, Then she has a guy that's like a, scammer. Then she has a guy that's pretty boy. Then she has a guy that's like, that fixes things like a handyman. I'm like, yo, like that's just too much. Like, but in her mind, she feels justified. She feels like, oh, right now she's just doing her thing and she's not. And then like me being a Pisces, I basically was trying to confirm, and I'm like, okay, well, how long you been having this fast five? And then she said since she was, since she was young. I'm like, well, shit, this been going on for a long time. Well, why she make it seem like, oh, I'm just doing me right now? That was just a lie. So you got to be careful because then, like, and I started to notice like, well, damn, you really got a situation going on that puts me in risk. See, it puts me in a risky situation. And mind you, the thing about it was, see, the problem was this, you guys, and she was telling me like how the guy that was like the player type dude was basically like telling her, to do certain things to get money and stuff, and then they ended up taking advantage of someone that was on meds, and it was just terrible. I was like, yo, I don't even know why she told me this, but this is confirmation that this is not the one to be hanging out with. See, because I sensed that she was, had shisty ways, because five different personalities means you're gonna be matching their energy for each one. So with me, I felt like I was like, oh, then what category do I fall in? Like, what is this? Zodiac signs or something? Maybe for you to have someone to talk about philosophical shit with. I'm like, nah, you can't put me into no category. Nope. And see, to me, it was like it's something that she was doing. I gotta turn this heat up, man. It's hot. But like, it's something that she it's something that she was doing that uh like I believe she was running a scheme of some sort, okay? Now, obviously it was something that let me see. Obviously it was something that she had going on, like a plan. See? But once I realized I was a part of the plan, it was like she was putting me into a victim situation, okay? She was basically putting me into because what she asked of me was, "Oh, if you come over, you know, I'm not guaranteeing anything." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" She was like, "Well, if something happens to you, I'm not responsible. Like I'm not telling you, oh, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that." And she was like, "If you come over, you're on your own, like pretty much like I may or may not answer the door." She said, "Because I'm the type of person that changes my mind on a dime." And this is coming from a Sagittarius woman. "Oh, you're the type of person that changes your mind on a dime? Hmm. It makes a whole lot of sense. Opposite polarity Gemini. Okay. Makes sense." So I'm literally like, does she really think I'm that stupid? Like I'm gonna really still go and risk it all for what? Then she told me the story about how they took advantage of someone that was on meds, and it hit me. They set up there was taking this lady's money, bro. And the guy, the little player type, pimpster dude or whatever, he was the one telling her what to do to the lady. But then she said, "Oh, I feel so bad for the lady because she didn't have money for her meds because she was giving it to her. I'm gonna just word it as her manager, okay?" And it's like, yo, really? If you would take advantage of someone that has meds, bro, and The lady didn't even have money for her own meds because you guys were taking it from her. I'm like, what would you do to me? What would you try to do to me? And then she kept laughing, like as we were doing a FaceTime thing together, and she kept laughing and smirking and during the call. And I asked her, face off, I said, yo, what's so funny? Why you keep smirking and laughing? And she was like, oh, you just look like, she was like, you just look so innocent. You just look so innocent. I said, really? I said, how do I look so innocent? She said, you just look you look pure. I'm like, pure. I'm like, okay. Now, once she said I look pure, that gave away her intentions, bro. See, you gotta, this is why I tell people, like, because if you tell me I'm pure, what you're really saying is you're trying to ruin that. See, you're trying to ruin the purity that you see in me. See, that's why she said, as I'm putting the little puzzle pieces together and connecting the dots of what she's really saying to me, because it's what you can't see that you have to trust. I'm like, oh, have me come over and then tell me on a recorded phone call that, oh, you come over on your own, I'm not responsible if something jumps off, and I might not answer the door because I changed my mind on a dime. I'm like, okay, change your mind on a dime. And remember I said with Sagittarius is that they weaponize the truth. She could be, she could be, that wasn't a fart either. That's just my back being a little damp and me moving. But the craziest thing is that they weaponize the truth. So she could literally be telling me the truth, but that could be a trap. That could be a situation that could hurt me. See, that truth of what she said could hurt me. Because now, let's say I would have came over there and I got robbed, God forbid. She would be like, "Oh, I told you. Well, I'm not responsible for you getting robbed because I told you, like, whoop de woo." And come on, man. So that's why I was like, nah, bro. And that's why I had to learn, because there was a thing with the three hookers, okay? There were, and this was my story, okay? Once there was three hookers, and one was a Capricorn, see? One was a Sagittarius, and one was a Virgo. Now, who you think out of all three, who would be the one you really gotta watch your ass around? That is not gonna be playing. It's gonna be all about the money. Sag, bro. Sag is like the number one, bro. Listen, bro. But this is the thing with Sag, bro. Sag is literally coming in the form of light, bro. Coming with the truth, meaning they're being flat out blunt with their intentions. But this is the problem. Truth to your ears gets confused as being pure, innocent. Oh, I don't have to prepare for anything. That's not the same. See, as you thinking it is not the same. See, the truth that I'm speaking about, the bluntness of a Sag, that could be, like I say, risky. It could put you in a situation where, it could bring harm to you. And guess what? Like, even if you friends with the Sag, they could put you in harm's way because they might do stuff that is not something you would do openly, something you would do right away, but Sag will do it right away. See, I remember I had a Sagittarius friend, right? And this man was running, and he had a whole bunch of guys chasing him in cars, trying to take him out. And I had my car, and next thing you know, he's telling me to Hey, yo, Trey, open the door. Take me, hey, let me in. Take me home. I got some people coming, trying to kill me. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh shit. And I seen him whip around the corner and I seen all the cars, coming towards me. We hop in the car, I smash off. Mind you, I ran like 6 red lights. Was I really thinking this was gonna happen? Did I plan this? Did I No. It just happened on a whim. And he put me, but you can't really say he put me in a bind or a bad situation, but he added me to something that I didn't ask for. And it could have got me killed. See? So that's why I say, like, with the risky situation involved, it's not for everybody. Like, be careful because even a Sag doesn't know what they're gonna do. They might, you could literally go with a Sag somewhere, and then a Sag, let's say it's even worse if they're armed. Let's say a Sag sees their enemy in traffic. A Sagittarius don't give listen, a Sagittarius doesn't give a damn, bro. They'll be like, yo, bro, roll the window down, roll the window down. There go my op right there. Oh, yeah. And then they'll pull their gun out and be like, do. They'll just start dumping. You be like, what the, whoa, bro, what you doing? Like, dog, they really do that. Like, where they'll still, like, just start letting loose. Like, y'all really in some type of shootout, bang out. And it's like, yo, we was just at a red light, randomly at a red light. And you just start dumping at your op. That's just how Sagittarius, they can be like that, bro. Leave that for the Leos. Let the because Leos like that shit. They like that thrill seeking type of stuff where they think it's funny, like, oh, you finna shoot him? Ooh, I gotta see this. Let me get my phone out. Let me put this on TikTok. And see, Sag, you gotta understand, Sag be dead ass serious, but laughy, just laughing about it like it's a game. And you thinking about, what if I get shot? God forbid. What if I go to jail? See, you start looking at the whole feeling behind it, like, yo, I ain't comfortable. Now I'm the driver. Now I feel like I got set up because now I feel like y'all planned this shit. See, because y'all ain't the ones driving. So it's like, to this day, the Sagittarius friend, he thanked me for saving his life. Because to this day, we're like of age now. Because back then we were like younger. And he was like, bro, I remember when Trey saved my life, when them dudes was trying to kill me. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. And then he was like, yeah, man, you know how to, you was getting through that traffic shit, bro. He was like, yeah, man, because they tried to box me in. And I had this little small little car, like a little Suzuki. I was just zooming through traffic, like they was trying to box me in, but I was gone in that little ass cart, man. But, you know, I was much younger. I was scared as shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared because bro, like, it was so many people chasing him. He had like 6 cars like driving after us, bro. Like, I'm looking in the rear view and I just see headlights. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I ain't have no time to react. I had to just focus to where when you in a situation that's like life or death, you have to focus, bro. Like, you gotta lock in, because if you don't, you gonna mess around and get killed, bro. So I was just like, focus. And what I did was, soon as they, like, because it was a red light and I came to a stop, like, I acted like I was gonna stop, then they tried to box me in and like drive in front of me. And I saw a little way out and I went that way. Then I did like some zigzags in and out of incoming traffic. I went on the other side of the road where I'm driving where the cars is coming at you. I'm literally driving in that lane, which is dangerous. Then I'm like, okay, I gotta like juke out which ones I can lose, turn my headlights out, literally hit the E-way. I was gone. Like, I was hitting like 100, bro. That's just how fast I was going, bro, to where I'm like, damn, I couldn't even believe I did that shit. I was like, yo. this shit was way too like it was just too much for my calm like energy. The Sag had hit me like with something that was just too much, bro. And I got a Sagittarius stellium, so to me, I feel like that's not my normal energy, but for the type of work I do, it makes sense because everybody be asking me, bro, like people be asking me like, how are you still doing the same work you would do? Like they've known me for years. They like, yo, Trey, you've been doing deliveries for like how long, bro? You've been doing this shit for like 10 years straight. And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it for 10 years. But, to me, it's like, I ain't gonna lie to you, it really feels like it's only been like a couple years. Cause like, I've been in my car for so long that I'm so used to this type of work that it's like, this is just something I do on the side too. That's the funny part. To the point where I'm always on the road, but like I said, I multi-app. I do like different, I can't really go off into what I do, but I don't mind sharing that I do Uber Eats. I do Uber Eats at night. And the only reason I say that because I had a situation happen that somebody somebody did some weird shit and it was just like I learned my lesson. Like you gotta be careful. Like when you on the internet, you gotta be careful telling people like certain things about you, like personal shit, cause like you don't know some creep or some little like just some low life gonna try to, do something with your name or something. But like I had to like switch it up and not allow myself to um, talk too much about personal stuff. And then somebody had doxed me too. As you guys seen before, somebody tried to steal my YouTube account too. I had all kind of shit happen like over the years. Like somebody had somebody had hacked into my shit and they switched my passwords and all that shit to where it was terrible. It was bad, y'all. Like, could you imagine and this was I was thinking, I'm like, damn, I'm thinking they gonna delete my channel. I'm like, oh shit. But no, they was trying to put they own content on my channel. Uh it was like some Call of Duty type stuff. And then yeah, they had changed my password, everything. And then I couldn't get in my own account, so I had to contact YouTube through Twitter. See, like people don't be knowing, like that's how Pisces be real smart. Like I went on Twitter and then I contacted, the YouTube, you know what I'm saying, the actual official YouTube a little page or whatever, and then boom, message, write the little thing, what happened, boom. I ain't hear from somebody for like a couple months though. And I'm like, damn, it been a long time. I finally got a hold of someone and then boom, told them what happened, sent the screenshot. But how did it happen? Sure enough, bro. See, how did it happen was the craziest stuff, bro. If I tell you this, you would be like, yo, the internet is scary. Yes, it can be. But this is how they did. This is what they did. So those of you that know that I, run the little servers on Discord with 5M, right? So these group of guys, I guess they were literally just trying to just destroy it. See, the problem was I had a link to my channel on my Discord. See, and I didn't even know people were actually going to my damn, my channel from Discord because it wasn't a link that you don't think no one would click on it because it's like, oh, it's a Discord thing for like a gaming type of server. So I was wrong. They was clicking that link, going to it, but somebody found a way to send me something that was like a fake link. See, I clicked on it, and then a message popped up that the tokens of my Discord was like literally taken by someone I didn't know who it was, and then next thing you know, my whole thing I couldn't log in. I couldn't get into my channel. And then that's when I was just like in my mind, I'm thinking it's over. Like, damn, it's over. I'm gonna have to start over. And then whoever took over my thing, I'm thinking like they gonna try to impersonate me. And everybody gonna think I switched my content. I'm like, nah. So I had to like I tried to make a second one and it didn't work. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm gonna try to get my original channel. Most people would have just gave up. I said, hell no, I ain't giving up. No. But yeah, I'm glad I got my shit back, bro. I had to use advanced protection from there though. Like I got advanced protection on my account now. So most people don't do that. They don't get the advanced protection through Google. And you have to do that, bro, because it's 2026. These people out here are too clever, too freaking nerds. They're way too skillful with the whole like doing this weird shit that it can happen to anybody. So I'm like, damn. But yeah, now I'm not saying like I said, I'll put the disclaimer out there. I'm not saying all Sagittarius are bad. It's just that just be careful because people don't oftentimes notice the whole risky situations that come with it. Cause like it could be a situation where the Sag can have somebody back, and then it could be your op, you know. Gotta be careful. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Since you said, wait, you said people be having too much time on their hands. Like, yeah, definitely. It's it ain't since see this is my thing. Like, this is why I tell people to be careful when you first meet people. It is a good idea to ask them their sign. Like, what's your sign? You don't have to ask them flat out. Just wait a little while. Then, cause I I'm fully aware that it might sound weird. Oh man, dude, what does that have to do with meeting someone? And it's like, well, it has a lot to do when you meet someone because you're trying to gauge whether or not you're compatible with this person. Now, a lot of people don't like to use the whole zodiac situation to determine, what kind of person they are or what kind of person they're dealing with. But it's something that you want to know because they could be doing something, I guarantee you, because everybody has something going on. You're not going to get along with everybody all the time. That's just not, feasible. But when you want to know things, it's a guide for you to know, okay, what you're up against. So it's like, let's say it's a lot of things you don't want to deal with regarding a person's personality. Well, zodiac sign kind of gives you a blueprint. It gives you like a little small little menu. Like, okay, well, these are some things that you could possibly face. It's not a guarantee, but you could you could basically run into these different behaviors regarding this sign. Now, let's say, now I ain't gonna lie to you. On dating apps, social media, Facebook, when I would meet women, next thing you know, I'm not asking them the whole sign situation. A lot of times people be like, oh, you into that type of shit? Or what does that have to do with, anything? Why you want to know that? What are you getting from that? I've been told I'm weird. I'm used to that. You're weird. You're asking me my zodiac sign. Like, you don't even know my name. And I'm like, look, bro, you gonna either say your damn sign or I'm just gonna X the whole damn thing out. Because to me, think about it. If a woman tell you her sign flat out, boom, think nothing of it, cool, boom. It ain't even no rocket science question. Just want to know. This is like asking somebody what their favorite color is. So, you know, next to once the reason why people don't want you to know they sign, because they know if you really know the real them, see, at least you get close to it. They don't like that shit. See, people don't like you to know stuff. Oh, you really know who I am and what I'm on, so they don't want you to know. ahead of time. And most of the time, they've already been in a situation similar to what you're asking of. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I was with this person and yeah, that sign thing was brought up too. And they can have trauma behind, the fact of ending because, oh, the person was pulled the sign conversation with them. So another thing is that what you got to watch out for is when you ask somebody they sign, like they get defensive, okay? They will get some people will get defensive. And like I say, it's because like all you really doing is speeding up the whole interview, getting to know someone regarding like some, certain questions because of the personality. Okay. Now, why is this an issue? Because of the facade and the illusion. See, a person want to reveal things about them according to what they get out of it. See, what they benefit from it. It's like sometimes they have an agenda. They want to meet they want to meet the agenda before they start revealing any types of truths about themselves. So a lot of times they'll just like, breadcrumb you into, oh, you thinking them to be one way, and then if you knew their sign, it just cuts the chase. It just cuts through all the bull crap. Appreciate the star, Sedona, Janae. If you and those of you appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Now, another thing is like when you ask a person their sign, it automatically is going to reflect back onto you, okay? Whether or not that person even wants to deal with you, because I'm telling you, I've seen people react. I've told people, oh, I asked them their sign, then it bounced back, oh, what's yours? And then I say Pisces. See? And then when I say Pisces, it's like I've had situations that people stopped talking to me because I told them I was a Pisces. And when I was younger, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be like super like I used to be pissed off, like, damn man, they don't want to talk to me because I'm a Pisces. What the fuck is Pisces out here doing? Like I've had situations where the woman was fine and I just said I was a Pisces and she just no. No Pisces. I'm like, oh, really? Just like that? No Pisces. Nope, 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 nope. And if it's like to the point where I had got to a point where I said, well, damn, maybe I should just start telling people my rising sign. At least that's on the horizon. So yeah, that's what they see anyway. So might as well start setting up a Scorpio. Then nope. I'm like, I ain't doing that. I'm just gonna be my authentic self. If you don't accept it, you just don't have to accept it. Cool. Now here's the problem. When when people start to realize that once they look how much power is involved in the decision. A person cuts you off because you said you was a Pisces. I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing. Good. See, good. If you don't, because you gotta understand, you just saved yourself some time. Everything about you, if that was something another Pisces in that cycle completed that cycle, so the situation doesn't have to run its course anymore. It can't. So that's why I say, like, sometimes you might leave, oh yeah, Pisces messed up something. Not necessarily. See, they learned their lesson, and that's why they don't want to deal with another Pisces, because how many more would they have to deal with? How many more do they feel they will have to deal with in order to learn a lesson? Only one. See, it's like, yeah, they got their ass tore off, and now they realize, no, no more, no more. Yeah, because you knew you got set straight. See, so the lesson was that's the whole thing. That person got a lesson from a Pisces. See, And she did say it. She said, "Oh, I got with a Pisces, and yeah, you know, I had a bad situation, and he stopped talking to me." And I'm like, "That ain't even that bad. What do you mean stop talking to you? It was just like you just disappeared, just went quiet, and she didn't want to deal with it." I said, "That's not even a big deal." See, a lot of times when the Pisces is done with a person, the main questions that always ruminate is, why did the Pisces go quiet? Why they stop talking to me? I heard from a Pisces woman in one of my old group chats when I had the Pisces deep in. It was like she was telling me how she was talking to a Pisces man, and he just stopped hitting her up. And he never told her why. He never said, I'm gonna stop hitting you up. He just stopped hitting her up altogether. But his daughter had died too. And what I told her ain't had nothing to do with the daughter. I said, if a Pisces just stopped talking to you just out the clear blue sky like that, it's something that he saw within you that he did not want to deal with anymore. See, once he found out, he didn't want it. He didn't want it. See, it could be anything. It could be a situation where, let's say, the Pisces don't like the way you speak. The Pisces don't like the way you take care of your body. The Pisces look at like your home and how see how clean it is. It could be any little thing that a Pisces just looks at and says, you know what, I can't do this. Like I won't do this. Like to the point where, like, I knew a lady that on the surface, we had good conversation. She wasn't bad looking, but her hygiene was terrible. See, hygiene is important. And it got to the point where I was just like, I just didn't like it. And I don't feel like I don't feel it's my place to be like, oh, you should, take a bath 3 days a week, or you should not a bath, but a shower. You should shower more than more, more that that I get to see, you do, and I'm gonna tell you what it was. So her and her homegirls, they was like, roasting each other. And she said, and I caught it. And then it was like, when I heard it, I was like, what the hell? She said, oh, well, at least I don't wake up in the morning and don't wash my ass, and I just put my makeup on and walk out the house. And then they got to laughing, and she was like, well, sometimes I just don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like getting in the shower when I just wake up. And I'm literally listening on the couch, and I'm like, I'm acting like I ain't hear that. Like, and then it's like, when you realize it's the truth, you're like, no way. Cause I'm thinking she got in the tub. I'm not thinking for one moment she just, got up and just put makeup on and walked out the house. And once I realized she was doing that, and she was doing it frequently, I said, oh, hell no. You can't make somebody want to take a shower, if that makes sense. Like, if they already don't like to. And I'm like, I can't be with a woman that, yeah, she looks good, but she's not clean, bro. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I had that situation happen to me on numerous occasions where I would deal with a woman, and she be some fine shit, but then her feet stink. I had a situation like that. The girl came over. She was some fine shit for sure. But when she took her shoes off, I thought a bag of Doritos was in them shits. Like, I smelled feet. And you know what she told me? Oh, my feet got wet. It doesn't, no. It is no excuse. Your feet stink. She said, "Oh, my feet got wet. That's why you smell that." I'm like, nah, nah, motherfucker. Your feet stink. It ain't no feet wet situation, because even if your feet were clean and they got wet, they wouldn't stink. And that Dorito smell was so strong. I mean, I still hit though. I ain't gonna. Cause I felt, bro. I had to still. Now I know y'all gonna say, "What the fuck? Come on, Trey. You still smashed her even though you knew her foot." Yeah, it did, because I was mad, but then I'm like, bro, let's just get this shit over with. I had to open the window and just, you know what I'm saying, clap the cheeks. Then I had to let her out. But the crazy thing was bro, I couldn't understand how you look that good, but your feet, bro, that to me, I'm a feet man. So if a woman got like, if her feet ain't done, I probably ain't finna talk to her. That's just me though. Like cause I look at a woman hands and I look at a woman feet. If her feet ain't done, no. If her nails ain't done, no. Like, because I'm one of them type. I'm not shallow, but what it is like I be feeling like that's like, for a woman feet or her manicure pedicure not to be done. That's like me wearing the same drawers, if that makes sense. But that's like me wearing the same drawers every day. It's just the same. It's on the same level. Like, you ain't gonna like that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things you gotta look at hygiene on all scales. And I've seen, because one thing is, if you tell a woman, "Can I get a 360? Can I get a 360?" Yeah, you see the 360, but then you gonna look at her hands, her face, and then her feet. And guess what? If she got the face and the nails, but her toes, what if her toes go over her shoes? Meaning, meaning the toenail. You like, whoa, see, you could be a 10, but if you see the feet like this, they see her toenails real long, that knock her down from a damn 9 to a damn 5. That just because what are you doing with them long ass toenails? Well, I just haven't got a pedicure yet. No, 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 no. See, that's like me having some stinky, uh, you know what? You know, down there, and it's like, oh, what is the excuse? There is none. You need to get in the damn shower. Why did you even show up like this? It's just little, it's like certain things that, like I say, but I know plenty guys that disagree with me. They like, bro, you tripping about nails, bro? Feet? Like, they be like, "Oh, you gonna stop talking to her because you don't like her nails or her feet, bro?" It's how it looks, bro. Because you see yourself sitting in the bedroom, getting cuddled up, and now you got like, it's how it look, how it feel, how it smell to me. See, because I'm a guy that's more attracted to beauty. You see what I'm saying? So I look at that as being, you know what I'm saying? I like seeing shit like that where it look good, you know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't gonna be like you. See what I'm saying? That's cool. But it's just like I have to look at the crevices, like the little things that people oftentimes overlook because they don't care about it. I'll be looking at that. See? It's like you gotta look at the whole um, like for instance, some people don't, when they take a shower, they don't even wash behind their ears right here. See? And a lot of times you can look at a person and be like, "Let me smell your ears once." What do you mean? That's weird. What are you talking about? Let me put my finger right here, right on your earlobe, and smell it. If it smells like bacteria, you're not fully showering yourself. You're not showering yourself. You're not washing your face. You know, you're not. You're not. You're using the same rag that you use for everything else. One rag. It's just how you gotta know hygiene ultimately is important, bro. It ain't no way around it, bro. I even be asking women what soap do they use. One woman told me she used Dove, right? Now, now I know y'all gonna say, I use Dove too, do. But here's the thing: Dove soap for women is considered a soap for, you know, the women that be out there. In other words, and it's like a lot of times you know you got different personal soaps that you use when you know you of age and whoop de whoop do. I can't say all these little personal terms on here like I want to, so I got to kind of beat around it. So the thing about it is you have that, but it's like you have to. You know what the craziest thing I've heard ever? A woman told me she doesn't even use soap, and she said, "Oh, she works in a hospital." No, soap is like the number one thing you're not supposed to use. Hmm. Well, I guess why is it soap on the shelves then? I'm confused. I'm confused. Like she's like, yo, because soap can knock off your pH and you get smells and that's not. It's not that. It's one factor, but it's like that doesn't mean you just use no soap. That's why I say, man, you have to get to know people on all spectrums, bro. Could you imagine talking to you getting to know a woman, y'all go on a date, and you guys don't have that weird conversation? See, next thing you know, 5, 6 months go into it, and you smell something, and you say, "What is that smell?" Only to find out she's not using soap. Well, by the way, I don't use soap, and yeah, so like if you smell something, like, yeah, that's just sweat, and we all sweat, and no, no, not that's not an excuse. But that's what I'm telling you. Like, if you don't have weird conversations, then this type of stuff ends up popping up later. See, and then it becomes a problem because then you start feeling like, so what am I? What have I got myself into? Like, what am I doing? Like, that's why you gotta have boundaries. You have to have expectations, bro. You gotta raise the bar for yourself and have higher standards. That's why I tell people, like, it's nothing wrong with you having a standard manicure, pedicure. Yeah, you don't have to be perfect, but you still gotta smell good and still gotta wash your tail. But just know, like, that's the standard. The standard is you must have, if you don't got no education, you don't got none of that other stuff, you must have these things. You must have them. See, it's like that's how I look at it. Is to raise the bar. But you know what? Some people, they don't raise the bar. They don't raise their standards. So they be stuck with the ones that got the chippy nail polish, the ones that, the Doritos on the toes, the long fingernails, dirt in the nails. They stuck with them, because you don't raise the bar. You have to raise your standards if you want to stop dating the same type of folks. Because, you know, I had to learn this myself because it was like I kept getting with someone I didn't want. And then I'm like, why am I keep attracting these same ones like this? It's because I didn't raise my standards. I had low standards. See, when you got low standards, you'll take anything. You'll get something you don't want and don't even know that it's something you don't want until you got it. And then you like, damn, well, this is not the best thing you can get because you will look at your friend's relationship and be like, damn, he got a good woman and she looks clean and she works every day. But why do I have this? You see what I'm saying? Different standards. And it's like, bro, if you keep settling, you gonna keep getting the same disappointments over and over and over and over and over, no matter what she looks like. Low standards means anything is gonna, you'll take anything. And that's why I say, like, you gotta look at not just the whole material situation and finances, you gotta look at, you know, what else does she have? Is she smart? Can she hold a conversation? It's a lot of different things that you can, you get with someone and, they got everything else but that. And then it's like, if you tell a person about some things or you try to, like, have a, let's just say a conversation and you guys talking about planets and, economy, whatever it could be, are you going to be talking to yourself? And you probably, if she has no interest in that stuff or she doesn't like to talk, that's another thing that I have to mention. Is people oftentimes you could get with somebody that just doesn't like to talk to where they're not a big talker. Well, that could be a problem in a relationship because you have to have communication in order for you to be in a relationship. You have to communicate. Even if you don't like to, you have to, because if nobody knows what you're thinking about, then it's like they're just gonna leave anyway, eventually. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, Janae, that's the funny part. Yeah, definitely. She said, they know you still gonna smash. You surprised how many people don't wash correctly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it was my manager. I used to work at Michael's Arts and Craft like way back, and it was like I was, lusting, and I was just trying to, like, have her come over and shit. And then, at the time my parents were gone, and it was like I had to come through. And the problem was everything was, straight there until she got walked through the door and I just got a whiff of it. I smelled, because I have a real strong sense of smell, believe it or not, to where I can smell like funk. If something smells good, I can smell it. It's like I just got that real distinct smell type of situation. So if, as soon as she walked through the door, I just felt that, just smelt the whole little, like, just wind of her scent, to where it was like, nah. And it was like in my nostrils so strong to where I was just like, if it's that deep into your your glands and seeing, I mean, damn, I said the wrong shit. My fault, y'all. I said this. I'm glad I stopped myself, but that's because I've been I'm gonna stop that. That's that Pisces freak type of stuff going on. But the craziest thing, that's why I be telling people, be careful when you start having your mind in the wrong places. You start having those terms right at the damn tip of your damn tongue from talking about other things. You end up saying something about something you was looking at. But yeah, so the thing about it is, when you're in a situation where, now I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah. Yeah, that's the funny part. But I know it was to what she was saying about the thing, but I do, that's one thing that I have, and then, like I say, I forget. Like, if I say something, it's hard for me to remember what I just said. So, you know, that goes to a personal situation. I ain't gonna talk about that, but yeah. But as I I believe what we was talking about. What's the whole feet smelling thing? But let me see. Janae said Pisces too freaky to deal with someone who isn't clean. Like, F that. Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it was just to the point where the only reason that I smashed, like, I still did that with her, even though I smelled something, because it would have been a waste of time to be like, oh, you know, you can't come in because your feet stink. Like, and I'm like, damn, is it like, can I forget about it without ruining, you know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I'm like, well, dang. In my mind, I'm telling myself, stop smelling her feet, damn, but her feet ain't in my face. It's literally sitting, like literally she's standing up. And I'm like, okay, can you just ignore the damn smell for, this X amount of time? And I'm like, you know what? Just get some damn. Went in there and grabbed the spray out the bathroom and just sprayed, bro. That's all I did. Like, I'm like, I'm just gonna spray and just, you know what I'm saying? And then the worst thing I did, which was a double fail, because I call myself smashing, but then I had got like we drank a little, so I got drunk, and then like, man, I looked at little Wilson like, yo, bro, when you gonna get up, bro? You gonna get up, bro? And I couldn't, cause I was literally alcohol to me. That's why I don't drink anymore, because alcohol messes me up. I can't even get into that whole like sleazeball type of mindset when I'm like drunk under the influence, because it messes up my whole body. Like my everything don't work like it should. It's like I'm sitting there trying to use my mouse and it's like, it's not working. And yeah, next thing you know, she's like sitting there like a damn stallion waiting, like looking over her shoulder, and I'm sitting there like, oh my fucking God, bro. Like, it was just embarrassing to the point where, and she was a Gemini. So I'm sitting there trying to talk my ass through the shit. Like, hold on, wait a minute. It's too hot. The Dorito smell is getting to me. That's why the mouse isn't working. Then we drank some shit. Now, it's a lot going on. Other than trying to tell her I can't get up. I can't get up, man. I'm literally just, hey, I don't feel my shit. I'm just sitting here like I can't feel it. I don't feel shit. But as I looked at her, I'm like, dog, man, why this shit happen right now at this moment? Like any other day, but today. Then I realized something, y'all. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but the next morning I woke up, I had the Incredible Hulk. Literally, like, when you go to get some cake decorator type of color, like the little green color. This shit was coming out, and I'm looking like, yo, what the fuck did she give me? Oh, I know y'all gonna be like, yeah, you should have wear protection. You didn't wear protection. No, I didn't wear protection. Yeah, I know. When I was younger, I was pretty dumb when it came to stuff like using stuff, not using stuff. I was just hard headed, didn't want to do it, didn't want to listen. But when I went to use the bathroom, oh my God, there was some green shit. I said, oh hell no. Yeah, she burned me. I had to go get that shit cleared up. But that lets you know I had so many signs not to let her ass in the house. The feet was the number one intuition. No. See? No, no, no. But what did I do? That was a weak boundary. See? Because I was focusing on smashing that, I forced it to where I ended up catching something behind it. See? Even when I drank and I couldn't even get the mouse to work. That was the second sign. The second sign to get the hell away from her. Didn't listen. See? And then woke up and had to go put some green shit in the toilet. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I couldn't be mad because I had so many warnings. The intuition was on fire telling me so many different signs. Like, you think a woman would know if her feet stink before she come to your house? That ain't no damn That ain't no, oh, I knew, this is a sign, a warning sign, like a caution. Don't talk to her. Don't bring her over. And don't screw her because yeah, I'm gonna get your attention with her feet stinking. So that should be enough for you to not let her in the crib. See, I was ignoring my intuition, bro, and it cost me. That's why I'm telling y'all, like, bro, listen to your intuition, bro. Listen, so many times where I didn't listen, almost cost me my life. See, just by not listening. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Flex. It's like to the point I'm way much more keener, more smarter now. Like now I don't even like I ain't out here chasing it like I used to be. I'm way more like saying no and like holding back and let me see my chart. I'm way more like, on it now because I'm fully aware. Like you understand, like I had to learn lessons in order to get better at not doing dumb shit. Because back then I was way too willy nilly, ready to try shit, ready to do stuff, risky stuff. And the problem was like, I ain't never see that. I never like. I'll say it like this: when people get burnt, I've always realized this. You've been given several hints to not mess with the person before they burn you. Like I swear to you, like old girl wasn't like she didn't give off no funny vibes, no watch out for her. She was my manager at the little job. So I never got that vibe from her like, oh, you be out here sleeping around, whoopty whoopty woo. But she's a Gemini, see? And what cost me the most from this? I'm not blaming her totally. Because I was young, right? I was young and dumb. That's my account. But you know what else? It's what you can't see. It's what you don't know. She was a Gemini. I didn't have this knowledge that I have today back then about Geminis. See? We did the whole sign, what's your sign, what's your sign, whoop de woo, but I ain't know nothing about no damn Gemini. I ain't even know what the fuck that was. I just, oh, that's your sign, okay. I'm thinking it don't mean nothing. Like, what's your favorite color? But out of everything she said and did, I'm sure, as I know now, oh, it was every reason I shouldn't have let her ass in, dated her as my manager or any of that. But I didn't know. And that's not an excuse. That's why I say do better. I'm speaking to myself. Do better. Because now the lack of knowledge, the lack of knowing things, even on that level, if I had known that shit, I would have never got burnt. I would not have because I would have been like, oh shit. I would have knew what I was dealing with. See? So for those of you that be like, oh, you talking about signs and that doesn't mean nothing, and oh, you don't, I'm sure you bumped your head. I'm sure what they say, find a fool and bump his head. I'm sure that happened to you several times because you didn't know their sign and what they're capable of doing with that sign. See? Because the sign is just this. The sign, all it means is that you have see the tenacity to do these particular things. You will be this type of way. See? But the problem is it's so accurate that a lot of time people just quick to be like, nah, because they just don't want to admit it. See? And the thing about it, if you know it, you have an eye. Your third eye opens up. You can see, oh shit, it's something to this. Now, it doesn't mean that it's more powerful than God or anything like that. No. But I'm just saying, like, you use the zodiac sign situation as a guide. See? Because if you had tools, a toolbox, you got different tools for different shit. That's the same way you want to use zodiacs, the whole zodiac situation. It's different tools that's not gonna get off something. Every size of every tool does not fit every problem. So you got to use the right tool to get it off, to solve it. And that's why I tell people, like, bro, knowledge is power, but what you can't see is powerful. Is listen, you look at what you can't see, and now you like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that. And see, that's the thing. Like, you gotta know, if you don't at least study, see each zodiac sign, then that's gonna have you in a situation that is gonna be the less chances of you knowing what this person is like, what they're truly like. See, because let's say, for instance, if let's say like me growing up, I ain't okay. So me growing up, I had two Sagittarius friends. Boom, right? Now, how do I know they were Sagittarians? Because of now that I'm older, I knew their birth dates. Boom. Okay. Now, the craziest thing is that these were my neighbors. They lived right across the street from me. So we was always playing basketball, wrestling, doing all kinds of activities and whatnot, roasting, playing video games, and that type of stuff, playing with Legos and stuff. Okay, so boom. I grew up thinking that, okay, these my homies, whoop de woo. But I wasn't really like them. Like, I wasn't nothing like them. We just had similarity as far as, activities that we had things in common. Boom. And then what happened was we were always fighting each other. See? And that's why I know now, with me having a Sagittarius stellium, that's the only reason that I could have even been friends with them, because we were always wrestling and then we'll end up fighting. Every time we played the game, we fought. We would be in the basement building Legos all the way up. And, next thing you know, I'll start working on something and I'll be like, ooh, look at this, man. Look how far I got. Woo de woo. Sagittarius would walk past and then he would just break it. We'll be fighting. See? We'll be playing the game, playing GoldenEye 007 for Nintendo 64. If I started winning and I get the little most you know, most perfect, what they call it, like the most such and such award at the end, we'll be sitting up there trying to gloat over whoop de whoop de woo, and then boom, we end up fighting over something stupid because words get exchanged. Because one thing with Sag is they'll say something and they'll call you, they'll call you a bitch or call you something, and then it's like they'll be laughing about it and like, oh yeah, you this and this. And when you a Pisces, you gonna be like, who you talking to? And then you end up hitting the Sagittarius too hard than what he thought it was, just a joke. And now y'all in there throwing it. See, y'all in there throwing them, and then it's like this was going on for quite some time. Then boom, the problem that I kept seeing the energies change. See, because what will happen is I met a Leo. The Leo flocked to the Sagittarius. Boom. So now I'm hanging around Leos and Sag. Boom. And it was just like every time I kept fighting with these folks all the time. People be like, I don't even see how y'all cool. But y'all be fighting like every day. And it was just like, this is just how it was all the time. We just fight, 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 fight. And then everything will come back down and we'll be like playing together again. And we'll be fighting again. So it got to the point where, when does this stop? See, when does this stop? And then the craziest thing happened. Okay. Because this one dude, his name was like Phil or some shit. He was like, we was playing basketball, and then we started roasting him because he was riding his bike and it was just the way he looked. We was just talking, me and the Sagittarius, we was like literally just roasting the dude it was just some random dude at the little the little basketball joint. Then next thing you know, this dude ends up jumping. He ended up uh jumping the Sagittarius dude, threw him in the garbage can, took his Jordans, and then I get blamed for it because I was the one that said something to him first when we was at the courts. He wanted to, he was asking us about the little basketball, and I started saying like, you can't hoop because he wanted to do a 1-on-1. I said, come on, man, we'll do 1-on-1. I'm gonna embarrass you. We did the 1-on-1. I beat him and I rubbed it in. I was just, literally just talking trash and whoop de whoop. Dude literally came. I didn't even know dude knew where I stayed. This is how I'm gonna tell you. The dude ended up catching the dude, threw him in the trash, took his Jordans, and then the other dude, he did something to him, and then me, they literally blocked me off from. So when I was walking to school, dude ended up coming on the route the little way I would walk to school. So I ended up seeing the same dude that I was you know, playing basketball with or whatever, was roasting and ribbing, whoop de whoop. This dude literally approached me. He said, "Yeah, what's up now? You was talking all that shit at the courts and whoop de whoop." I said, "Okay." So it's like three of them, and they literally we just throwing them, and then like, bro, like I hit the fence, and then I'm like, what the hell going on? I go to school still, come home, dude come back. He literally trying to chase me, trying to fight me again. So I say all this to say, I kept trying to remember, and I'm so young, I'm in high school, and I'm thinking to myself, how does this dude know where I stay? I've never seen him walk through the same route. He went to the same school. I didn't even know that. Now this is the most listen, bro. This is the craziest shit that I ever witnessed, right? Bro, I'm literally excuse me. Hold on 1 second, y'all. So I'm literally thinking to myself, like, how does this dude know my whereabouts so well? How the fuck does he know where I walk to school? And I'm just like trying to figure it out. Then my intuition hit me. My intuition, like, your cousin stay with you, right? Who does she talk to? She was talking to this one dude, right? Boom. Why the dude was friends with the dude that jumped my homie, she's a Leo. And you mean to tell me this whole fucking time you knew this shit was happening and you didn't tell me as you supposed to be my blood cousin? And now you gonna have this dude fucking following me around like he know me, and the dude just popping up at the places that I have to like literally travel to get to school. So I said, okay, now I'm mad now because I'm like, okay, you need to take your ass home because you know this dude and you ain't tell me you knew him. And now you didn't drop the damn location and gave this man all my shit, my whereabouts and wooty wooty woo. Man, I went to school. This time I rode my bike. But I had a damn golf club with me. Boom. But I wasn't going to school. I was looking for dude. Dude asked that jumped me because it was three of them. I said, all right. Man, I got off that bike so fast. I seen dude grab that golf club. And then I was getting ready. I'm like, literally, I'm not thinking. But then something hit me like, bro, don't even go to jail, throw your life away over this dude, bro. It ain't worth it. Woo de woo. put the golf club down. Someone just told me to go over there and square with him and fight him. Just go fight him again. Whoop de woo. I go over there, square with him. We literally throwing hands. Whoop de woo. Then I call the cancer. I called the cancer. Was a friend that when we all went to the same high school. And I told the cancer about it. And then him and his boys was like, where the dude at? I said, he over here. But it's hard for me to catch this dude. So I called them. We literally pull up on the dude, and the dude really, he ain't want none. He just kept looking over his shoulder. Then I'm like, okay, whatever. Boom, let it go. Then I had this feeling like, don't even trip. Just let that shit, let it die, let it go. But every time I seen dude, he wanted to fight me every single time just because of that basketball shit. I said, all right, bro. I was getting to the point where this type of enemy was not like backing down, bro. He was not leaving. He was just still on that. Every time I seen him, it was that. Now, mind you, speed this up. Man, I go to a party. Boom. My cousin party. She got like a little basement, little party going on. Boom. They dancing, twerking, having all types of, music playing. I'm getting ready to go down in the basement. Guess who's sitting on the stairs of the basement? The fucking dude, bro. And I look at him. I'm like, he look at me. I'm like, oh, I wanted to just take off on his ass, but I'm like, I don't know if he armed. I don't know who in the basement that's cool with him. I'm like, this might end out in a damn shootout or something. So I'm like, okay, this ain't the time to be doing this shit with him. Just leave. I go upstairs. They're like, why you ain't go in the basement? I said, dude, why you? I just pulled my cousin to the side. She a Leo. I'm like, why do you have this? Why you not telling me about this dude, bro? You know this is my op. And you invited me over, and I'm not even expecting to see this person, bro. And she talking about oh, I didn't even know y'all was into it, lying and shit. I'm like, bro. Then next thing you know, here, this is when this shit gets real. Okay. Fast forward, I'm in college, right? Why this man got his back turned, right? I'm literally so much taller than I was, than in high school. I'm like 6'6" now. Back then I was probably like 6'2". Bro, tell me why I'm sitting right behind the dude. I could literally just take off on him right now. His back is turned, fam. I see him. Then I just tapped him on the shoulder and he looked over and I said, yo, I said, Phil, what's up? And then he looked at me, but I could see the fear in his eyes, bro. Like, who is you? I said, yeah, you the one that you and your little homie wanted to jump me, whoop de whoop. I said, what's up now? But I'm playing. I'm not even dead serious with him. I'm just like playing. I was like, what's up? What's up? He like, no, bro. He like, man, I ain't even known that shit, bro. Like, whoop de woo. We could take this outside though. I said, all right, let's take it outside. No, matter of fact, let's take it right here. Cause I see him in school. So I'm like, I'm trying to start an altercation so that way he can get in trouble in the school. So he like, no, no. But then I just realized the look he gave me, bro, he was scared as shit. It to the point where I didn't even have to fight him. But the mere fact me getting in his face, that was enough. See? And it was crazy because after that, I ain't never seen him again. But it was like, I felt like the moral of the story is that, bro, a lot of times stuff like little clues of stuff that be happening, bro, it be your own people, bro. Be your own people. See? Yeah, definitely, Misty. Definitely, I agree with you. Like, I didn't even think I had to do that with her because I'm thinking like, oh, it's her birthday party. I'm not expecting dude to be there. See, like at all. So the crazy thing is like people can do stuff, and it's like I just think my cousin knew. I think my cousin knew, and she just didn't give a fuck because we didn't have good, woo woo. Growing up, she said I was mean and woo woo and that that's because she was always at our house all the time. So she felt some type of way. She said that she felt like I ain't like her and woo woo growing up, and it was like all these little things she never told me how she really felt. So I'm thinking everything good, and then boom. when I seen that, it was like I was hurt because I'm like, bro, you know this dude is really doing all this. Why you didn't intervene? And the whole time she was talking to his brother. You mean to tell me you was talking to his brother and the whole time you didn't know this dude had issue with me? That's cause you didn't want it. You wanted that shit to happen, fam. That's why I was like, nah, because she was the first one when I had that golf club, she was the one trying to stop me. How you knew where I was going with that? See? And then like I say, like the shit was crazy because like I didn't think that because I ain't gonna lie, it was making me so this is the dude was real tall, bro. First off, I'm gonna just tell you, this dude was huge. He was tall. He was, you know what I'm saying? He always had shades on, so you couldn't even see his eyes and shit. So it's like every time I seen dude, it's just like you give you that unsettling feeling, like, okay, like, And me, it was like I had so much fear in me because I was scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it got to the point where these dudes following me home from school. Like in my mind, I had it in my mind. I'm not breaking my path, bro. Like no, by any means. If I see them and they come to me, I'm fighting, bro. I'm not finna walk way out the way to get to school, bro. Nope. So I was like, I'm finna literally get my ass up, and this is what happened. I had to strategize my way to school every day by leaving early. Because if I left, it got to the point where one day I didn't leave early. And guess who I run right into? The dude and his homies. So they would be 5 deep walking to school. And it's just me. That's why I had the golf club, because I'm like, okay, back then guns wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big thing, before George Bush became, president, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and legalized it. But it was just like, I see these 5 dudes walking to school every day. I'm like, okay, if anything, I know good and hell well I'm not gonna walk on the same damn sidewalk as them. Hell no. See? And then it would be that quiet little awkward, just quiet little awkwardness that'd be if they was behind me and they was, starting to catch up to me while we walking. I couldn't even like deal with that shit, fam. And then when we gotta get out of school, I had to leave early. It got to this was the everyday thing. But this is why I said you gotta end cycles because I got tired of leaving early. I got tired of leaving early for school. And it was like, I was literally in tears, like, bro, I got to literally just fight this dude. Fuck this shit, bro. I was like, bro, I'm tired of running. I'm tired of doing this early shit. I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. I said, if I see him, but this was the difference. This was the difference. This is why I say with Pisces, bro, if you push a Pisces too far, somebody gonna get buried, fam. Cause I said in my mind, I said, if this dude come to me, that's it for him. I'm hunting him down. I'm hunting his ass down. Like if he touch me, come near me, I was finna take this dude out. That's to the point where it got to. Cause I'm like, bro, ain't nobody finna have me feeling like this, bro. See? And sure enough, bro, the day this man set me up, bro. He set my ass up, bro. I'm literally walking home, right? I'm with one of my well, I thought he was my homie. He was a Pisces too. And he was like, yo, you want me to walk with you? And I was like, nah, I got it, bro. Whoop-de-whoop. I'm walking. Next thing you know, I get to the halfway across the street, this girl come to me like, hey, wait for me and whoop-de-whoop. I gotta talk to you about something and whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like listening. Man, she was talking to me to distract me, fam, right? Slowed my ass down, fam. I probably would have been at the crib already. Next thing you know, I'm talking to the girl and I'm fitted. I'm talking about I got the jean, Air Force Ones, I'm matched head to toe. And I'm literally just listening to her talk. Next thing you know, man, I felt something hard like a rock hit the back of my head. I hit the ground like boom. Next thing you know, dude tried to literally kick me in my face like doom. Like, I'm literally like, what the fuck? And dude and his homies, they literally just throwing, man, I'm talking about, they literally scraped up my shoes. I'm like, my whole fit just ruined. My whole thing, I'm like, it's over, bro. Like, I'm on his ass, bro. So I called my uncles. We went looking for the, bro, this is the craziest thing. Me and my uncles, we literally driving up and down looking for his ass afterwards. And we was not letting up. We could not find this dude, bro. Like, as if he knew it was coming. And see, they was strapped too. They was strapped. They wasn't finna play with dude. Cause I was at that moment, I'm like, it's over with. It's over with. But it just taught me a lesson, like, bro, like, never walk in fear, bro. Always face whatever it is that you feel something, bro. But the setup was so crazy because as soon as they hit me, she was gone in the wind. Soon as they started hitting me, bro, gone in the wind. And it was railroad tracks right there. So I tripped, boom, fell face down, boom, was not expecting them to come up on me. Cause I had what? I said, no, what? I'm tired of running, tired of woo doo doo. I'm leaving early, woo doo woo. And then they came behind me, boom. And then it was just like, why is they coming for me so bad for? And then it just got to a point, it was like the whole me ended up evolving, bro. Like I transformed because I started working out. I started doing push-ups every night because I was getting into too many fights. I was doing my little chin-ups and just working out all the time. I didn't even know why I was doing that shit. It was just like I knew I had to get stronger, bro, because it was almost like this gonna keep happening, bro. You only in ninth grade. Like this shit gonna keep happening, bro. You got to get stronger, bro. You gotta know how to throw them hands, bro. And sure enough, that's what I did, bro. I started getting stronger, started getting my body started getting more muscular when I was younger. And then boom, I was just like, I started feeling different. Like I wanted to fight after that shit. Like once I started just benching, it was like I wanted to fight now. I want to fight now. Now it just became like that was like a part of my personality where I had aggressiveness like in me from all those little like traumas like of fighting to where me getting jumped like that one time, just one time. That's the last time I'm getting jumped. See? Cause I'm if somebody ever try that shit again, somebody gonna get hey, somebody gonna get tucked in, fam. I'm not playing, fam. That's why I was like, no, I'm not going down like that. But it let me know, like, bro, to getting set up is the worst feeling, bro. Like, I was just mad I fell for that shit. Cause I'm like, bro, I really was trying to talk to old girl. Cause I would always see her walking home from school, but she would be like leaving too early or leaving like too late in time for them dudes because she was cool with them. She'll be leaving right when they leave, and then I was trying to avoid them, so I would have to leave early. See, so yeah. Who said I don't like to listen to nobody? I mean, what do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, Janae, for sure they hated the light for sure. Um, but it was like the thing that was it was like, how can I say it? When you get jumped, okay, so like if you get jumped the first time, like it's not you don't fit. It's to me, it's like you getting outnumbered, fam, and it don't feel good because you like, damn, I'm getting outnumbered. And then when you trying to focus on one, somebody else end up hitting you, and then it's like you just notice that you can't take the A whooping though. Like when they threw my Sagittarian friend in the garbage, bro, that was like beyond me because you know how the little garbage cans they sit in front of the driveways. That's how he got through in one. And the dudes took his Jordans, and the Jordans had just came out. And he had just got them shits and they took him. See? They took his shoes. And he came back and like literally, he was literally like, he was so mad, but he wasn't so mad at them. He was so mad at me. And he was like, look, you got my shoes stolen. You got me beat up. Whoopty whoop, thrown in the trash can. This is all you're doing. Like, bro, what the fuck you blaming me for? And then it got so bad. We was playing basketball in like his little driveway. Those same dudes, they had like, bro, they came to our little neck of the woods. It was like 15 of them, and they all had some type of weapon in their hands, like they was on some. You ever seen that movie? Damn, what is that movie called? Uh, I gotta try to think of that movie. It's like Come Out and Play, or what is it called? It was a movie. I gotta think of it, but it's like where all these little like kind of like cliques and stuff, they be trying to fight other cliques and shit. So it's like I forgot it was Warriors. That was the movie. And if you watch that old ass movie Warriors, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So these dudes just like had nothing better to do but to mob up and come against us, and we weren't even bothering nobody. We were just always hooping. But I never forget that when we was playing basketball, the Sagittarius dude started laughing like, "Oh, there go feeling them," and I'm like thinking like, "Oh, why the hell are they here for?" And we trying to play basketball, and we like, "Okay, man, y'all ain't what y'all finna do? Y'all just finna sit in the street and look cool?" Cause I'm like, bro, if you hit me with that shit, bro, you going down, bro. Like me, I never really played with like when people come to fights with weapons and stuff like knives or like any type of like, you know, put a rock in the sock or something. Like I've always been like, bro, you is not finna hit me with that shit, bro. Like, like I'm gonna make sure I put a submission, one of them UFC submission holds on you. You ain't finna put that. You is not finna use that on me. Cause I used to always watch YouTube videos of like self defenses and like Bruce Leroy. Cause growing up, that's all I used to do is wrestle with my siblings and my family and stuff. Like we used to always have wrestling matches, and we used to be really in there fighting, like doing, a little more than what. But I think that's just a guy thing. But yeah. So that's just a little bit about me. But yeah, let me see. So how's everybody doing? Man, that's hot as a mug. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. It's a little too hot. But I would say far as the media with Pooh Shiesty, they showed a little clip with him and Gucci, Gucci Man, him robbing Gucci Man, and it's like to me, I feel like it's a little more going on with the Pooh Shiesty situation. I feel like, as you guys know, Pooh Shiesty, he's a Scorpio. And I feel like everybody's just been looking at the mere fact him just getting out the feds and then going back to jail on the same type of, similar situation. But the thing about it is, yeah, 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 I know. And see, the thing is, well, I've already covered the whole live segment since I'm youngin'. So I just ended up just, talking about something else. But it's just like, me engaging with y'all anyway, because like usually after I do the live, I just get off. But I just wanted to say this because with Pooh Shiesty, people don't understand that it was more than just him getting out of his deal. See, you gotta understand the dude owed him 10 million, right? Now watch this. The thing about it was, I believe that they was trying to get him to do some type of sacrifice. I believe it was more to it than him owing him money, bro. I felt like they were trying to either sacrifice Pooh Shiesty, and he knew it was coming. So he instantly just did that to Gucci Mane just to avoid being sacrificed. You get what I'm saying? Like he basically ran from it, got locked up, and just to live, just to save his life. Because if he would have got, put it to you like this, if he would have got, you know, something would have happened to him, God forbid, then he would have got sacrificed. See? Because you gotta understand, every time you notice an artist wants out of their contract, they always get off, bro. Every last one of them. And then they try to lie and say in the media that it was something else, but we know that they were getting ready to sacrifice Pooh Shiesty, bro. That's why he pulled that stunt with Gucci Man, bro, in order to get locked up instead. He would rather be locked up than to get, murked or something happen to him, and he don't nobody see him no more. See that? So I feel like it was done off of strategy, you see, because you got to understand, like, everybody on 1017 had got, they they got sacrificed. That little what's his name, little Papa, or the other dude that passed away, all types of mysterious disappearances of artists. Boom, see? So it's like Pooh Shiesty is the rapper, but yeah, I feel like it was more to the story because I don't believe that he just got out of the feds and just did that, and like as if he didn't, like, I don't think that he wanted to do that, but did it because he was trying to escape something. Because people know when they're about to get sacrificed, bro, because they signed a deal. See, they signed that deal, and the thing about it is, how did you just get out of jail and realize you didn't want to be in that contract? You had to have known you signed up for something that you probably realized it wasn't the move to take. So I feel like he's just, running from that whole situation, that whatever his term was, because most artists, they don't read their contracts. See? And if you sign, and how do I know this to be true? It's because I used to work with this one guy, right? And he was a well-known rapper, and he told me, he said that they tried to get him to sell his soul. They gave him two different contracts. One was the regular contract, and then one was the one to, the sacrifice, not sacrifice, but the sell your soul contract. In other words, like a blood contract. So he said the dude told him, if you want to do this one, you got to come in this room with me. And he said he went in that room, and he said they had the light off and all kind of weird shit. And he told me he didn't accept it. So he didn't get the deal. He didn't get the deal with all the money, the fame, and all the extras that they give artists once they sell their soul. So if you notice that when people sell their soul, they instantly look richer. It's like they start to have, better clothes on, better crib, better car, better, situation. And a lot of times people just, like, because they can't see it, they don't believe it. But you got to understand this. In high wicked places, bro, you can never see these type of spirits, bro. Like, you won't be able to see them in the naked eye. So think of it like this. You have a skeleton inside of your body, which you can't see it. See, you can't see it because you're on the outside of it. But on the inside, there's a lot going on. What you can't see, that's moving, that juices and blood, all kind of stuff flowing, and you can't see it. See, no one would never show you any type of microscopic type of image of what's going on in the body where you could vividly see everything flowing and going, and they're not going to get on YouTube and show you this or tell you this, just like they're not going to tell you, oh, a person sells their soul and what that looks like. See? But that everybody that sells their soul, they become a puppet. See, they become a puppet to the industry, and then boom, next thing you know, the minute they don't do what them folks say, They get what? Sacrifice. See? The sacrifice is for to open up doors for another artist to come on the scene. And then that's how you end up hearing, oh, here come a new artist. See? To replace Pooh Shiesty. See that? So it's like you gotta know these things. And then the problem is, oh, what happens when the person refuses to be sacrificed? They go to jail, they get locked up, they get this type of embarrassment from the public media that, oh yeah, you went out and did this and this stupid thing and you robbed the artist where that was dumb and you just got out. That's how you know. See? But it's like you can't just say, oh, that's not true because it's what you can't see, bro. They never gonna do a video and show you the elites and all the stuff going on in the high wicked places. See, high wicked places is where the witches and warlocks are. See, because once you start off with a higher form, like it starts off with like even like the police. See, you look at the police and then it's a higher tier from the police to the boot to the boot to the boot to the boot all the way up to the elites. See, and then it's like once the elites they make a decision, boom, it must happen. If you sign, especially when you sign up for, you know how many emails, how many, bro, I've gotten so many emails, messages from the Illuminati, bro, to join. And I'm not joining that shit. It ain't gonna happen. See, even if I have to get less views and less and my shit don't blow up because I didn't join that shit, bro. Like I didn't join, I'd have told them no. Cause they see you talking about zodiac signs, woo de woo de woo. Oh yeah, you already come up, come and join the Illuminati. And I'm like, nah, I'm not joining the Illuminati. But I got a ton of emails. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We see what you're doing and whoop de woo and join and whoop de. Nah. So that's why I say you want, because here's the trick. Once you sign up for that, you can't take it back, bro. Once you sign up for that stuff, bro, you were in that shit, bro. And if you try to leave or do something, there's consequences to that. So I'm like, nah, bro. But that's the thing, like most of the people that you see doing this type of stuff, they do have, they do have the Baphomet symbols in their videos or in their, in their look. They might have a necklace, chain, wristwatch, band, um, and they'll tell you. And it's the craziest thing. They'll sit there and tell you that that's what they're doing. See, and then you understand the people that watch, join in and clap and do stuff, bro. They damn near they're lost obviously, and they're following along with this person they already seeing the. That's just like where Lil Uzi Vert, he had the Baphomet stars on his damn belt when he did a performance. See, and you can't say, oh yeah, he just wearing that, and that's just a necklace charm. Nah, bro, he's trying to send a message, bro. Communication. That's what that is. He even said it that he said he was going to hell and that the fans that he has is going with him. He even said that. But everything doesn't have to be evil for it to be evil because it's all what you can't see, bro. Like if somebody's to try to put a spell on somebody, you can't see that. You can't see the actual, there's not like some magic is gonna come out or you're gonna see a poof, like some type of proof, like confirm, oh, somebody throw some dust on you or something like, or some glitter. It's like, bro, no, it ain't. You can't see that. You can't see when a person is doing a spell work or something. Boom. You see, but that doesn't mean like, oh, they didn't do it just because you couldn't see it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, people gotta know, gotta wake up, bro. If that's just like animals can be nocturnal and just come only out at nighttime. Where are they during the day? Some people say, oh, they're sleeping. Oh, woo de woo. Why we don't never see them? See, like you never really see a possum running around during the daytime. See, or you don't see a coyote. Well, I've seen coyotes in the daytime, but like you don't see certain animals in the morning, afternoon, but at nighttime they out. See, so it's like just because you've never seen one doesn't mean it's not there. That's all I'm trying to say. But like you got to be careful because initiations are real. Just like a gang, if you in the gang, you got to initiate. So everything is all you know put into groups. There's like a group nowadays for everything. So that's just my spiel. Yeah, definitely, Misty. Yeah, they don't stop trying because they see what you're doing. See, that's the thing. Like what I'm doing is considered dark, okay? But it's not to me, it's not dark because I don't have no maliciousness behind me telling you guys this. It'll be different if I'm like burning candles and doing weird, doing type of like you see me in like a cape or something, and I'm literally like, you know, to where it will be proof if I had that going on that I was doing some type of, darkness or whatever. But me just me just basically breaking down certain things and the woo. That's why I made my channel different because most people will literally hear the zodiac and automatically assume you're an astrologer. See, but you could be intuitive, have insights, and you could be somewhat psychic to where you know things, but that's because you have a gift. See, not because, oh, you're psychic. It's just because you have a serious gift. You have a gift of discernment. You have a gift of knowing, knowing something before it happens. We all have gifts. So it's just like you just got to know what your gift is because you might have a gift someone else doesn't have. See, and if you find your gift is something that you actually know things, no one tells you things, and you realize, oh, they're like, oh, how did you know that? And it's like you start to see that often, then you have a gift. See, so it's not like you're just telling yourself I have a gift. It's more like, oh, I always be saying stuff that people be saying, like, how do you know that? And that happens often. So it's like that's what you go by. But I always say, let me see, Janae said they coming for content creators now because a lot of people ain't paying these celebrities no mind nowadays. Uh, yep, definitely. Since that my parents wanted to sell me out to the Illuminati and have me be a child actor, taking me to auditions or everything. Said that shit gave me bad vibes even as a child. Yeah, see, what's gonna happen and it's already happening. Like when you look at people like Drewski, Kai Cenat, those type of people, uh I Show Speed, them folks in Aiden Ross, them folks done sold, bro. They sold out. Because listen, the problem is like you guys were saying, like the everybody realizing that streaming is the future, bro. Streaming is the future. Like people didn't quit their jobs, people didn't like quit their jobs to do YouTube. People didn't like realize like, oh, they don't want to work no more. They realized that streaming is like it pays. It's like literally because they gotta understand streaming ain't nothing but TV. TV been around for years, television. So people always, gonna watch something before they just, become bored. They're gonna watch something. The problem is these streamers making a ton of money off streaming more than a professional box, somebody that is considered professional, like a professional artist, and they looking at, damn, you making all this money and you just doing streams every day, and I'm sitting here, doing a professional type of career, and I'm not getting that type of money. So everybody is going to start streaming. Watch. Everybody gonna start streaming, but here's what's gonna happen. See, folks gonna start selling their soul because they're gonna see the money, the figures. Oh, we're gonna give you all this money if you network with us. But the shit is gonna work like this. The people that sell out is gonna backfire because they're gonna start getting less money and being more controlled by these higher ups. See, because they're gonna end up reverting back and going to the industry. They're not gonna stay on YouTube alone and just be doing what they've been doing. They already got Drewski already. It is what it is. He just showed up on BET Awards. Anytime you get a placement like that, you sold out, bro. Ain't no way no YouTuber of his age just throw him on BET Awards. Hell no. He sold out, bro. It is what it is. See? But he could have been, see, what these people fail to realize is that he could have been like his record company, his show. He could have been great alone. He didn't have to, he did not have to sell out. See? But he did because he got greedy, bro. Got greedy. See, you could have money, but then, see, let's say, let's say you make $50 an hour, okay? And you're a nurse, right? And you start making, you make, at a wage like that, you can make decent money. And then think of a person that's making like $100 an hour. Let's say a doctor. It's a decent amount of money. But let's say you start streaming and now you getting like let's say you get 10K a month. You get one check a month and that one check is 10K. Boom. And if you look at the amount of work you put into it, you like, damn, okay. But instead of just saying, okay, I'm cool with this, you just end up, the first little email come through your emails, you like, oh, they asked you to sell out. You like, okay, cool, you can do it. Just because, oh, you're going to get 5 mil, 10 mil more, it's like, bro, money is not, more money is not promising, bro. If you are, because look, being rich is considered having more of something. It's like, okay, if you're rich, you have more of it. It's like, if you have $1 million, you have more money. See, so you could do more with more money. But if you get even more money, it doesn't even really make a difference. Because think about it. Kobe Bryant had millions, but guess what? He died before he even got to spend all of it. So what's the point of selling out, doing all this extra stuff when you don't even know if you're going to live a long time to even have spent $24 million? It don't make sense. Yeah, you got kids and stuff, but even $1 million could really last a lifetime. Like, you gotta understand, like, those type of people could have literally been great alone. A lot of artists sign, big contracts because they want that big advance. But they don't realize that if you rap right now or sing, you could literally get you a distro kid. You already got all these resources. You could use BandLab. You don't got no $1,000 studio. You could use a freaking app, BandLab, on your smartphone. Buy you some Apple earbuds. That's $20. And literally drop your beat inside of BandLab and record a professional song by yourself, upload it, master it yourself, do the copyright yourself, put it on BMI, register the song yourself, and put it on DistroKid and get paid. You don't need no record label. All that's gonna do is just push your song out there. It's gonna give you the push. See? It's gonna give you the push so more people see it. And they're gonna give you an advance. But guess what? Your advance gonna be mostly spent on what you use of their equipment. So it's better off you just being your own boss and you having your own record company. See? But a lot of people think you got to go through these big organizations to make it. No, you don't. You want your own show? Start YouTube, bro. You want to be you could play video games. You could do anything on YouTube. You could do nails, hair. You can try different foods as a channel. You can make a channel out of anything, bro. You can make a channel out of a person could do something like making a damn paper plane, bro, and that shit blow up, bro. You can literally make a paper plane and make dozens of them, and people will watch that shit, bro. People will literally watch you make a paper plane, bro. Cause it's all about the content. It's not about who's. See, people be thinking, oh yeah, that's not really creative though. Yes, it is creative, fam. Anything you do with your hands and make and create, and you gotta if something go from a sheet of paper to a damn airplane or some type of game, it's like damn, that's creative. I used to do that when I was young. Used to make a game out of a sheet of paper because when you in school you got so much downtime that you be bored. You start creating shit. When you're bored, you start to create. I guarantee you could be given a sheet of paper and have to sit in detention or a quiet room for 10 hours. I guarantee you the paper is going to have all kind of scribbles. It's probably going to get balled up. It's going to get touched so many different times that it's going to get turned into so many different things. Because what? What am I going to sit here and do? It's cold-blooded because look, you think a prisoner that's locked up, right? He doesn't have no special privileges. But guess what? If he has a TV, you know he going even though it's a regular ass TV. The fact that he can watch something on it makes a difference because of how you spend your time, bro. Listen, a person could go through the worst situation and be happy because I got a radio. So I can listen to music. Oh, I got a TV so I can watch something. Why I sit here for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. At least I can watch TV even if I'm watching a show that I hate, Andy Griffin. I got something to watch. I got something to watch. Even though it's Andy Griffin, you like, shit, I'll watch Andy Griffin for fucking 20 years. Just sit in this quiet ass room all day. See, you gotta understand that people will literally do anything to not be bored, bro. They will watch anything. I seen a YouTube video where the lady was literally taking a damn, just peeling an egg, bro, and got 2.4K people watching her literally peel the egg without busting it, bro. People know, see, and you gotta understand, that person is not about the egg. It's about when you got something in your hands and you doing something, folks, it like control your mind because it starts to focus on something and people are like, oh, she's gonna mess up. It builds up that, oh yeah, she's clipping the egg, but what if she slips up? Then they're waiting for her to mess up. See? So that's the whole thing where it captivates attention. Even though it's just an egg and she's peeling it with toenail clippers and utensils you use for feet. It's like she knows what she's doing. She's drawing attention because people are going to want to know, why are you peeling the egg and this is a channel? That's why I say you could do anything, bro. You could literally eat pork and beans. You could open up cans of corn and just do something with the can and it's going to blow up, bro. It don't matter what it is, it's going to blow up, bro. You could smell colognes and try different ones. You could go to the dollar store and buy stuff for $1 and just do reviews. That shit will blow. Look at Mr. Beast, bro. His videos ain't really like nothing, It just people literally just think it's funny. Like you gotta understand, like you don't know who's watching your content. It could be anybody, bro. And it's content for everybody. Like if put it like this, if you worked on a car and recorded it, people will watch it. If you did push-ups, people will watch it. If you sing, people will watch it. If you play the guitar, people will watch it. If you got a fish tank and it's a couple fish and you feed them every day, you could literally do shorts and that's all your content is feeding your fish and that's it. People will watch it. It's like, bro, you ain't no excuse. If you not a YouTuber, if you don't like to be on camera, I recommend you actually try it out. Cause once, at first it does seem kind of weird, but it's like once you keep doing it, you start realizing that it's not as weird as you thought it was. It's just gotta you just gotta do it. That's all. It's first start doing YouTube, you don't always get views as you would like, and you just gotta keep on doing them. It has to be a passion, but if you do like a channel, which like I'm thinking about doing another channel too, doing a couple channels at the same time, but like you could do faceless channels. You don't have to show your face on some channels. You could do finance channels. They pay the most if you do a finance channel. So like if you talk about um finances or like how to save your money, and you could do a channel about self-improvement with money and stuff, and that could really you could get like a high, bro. I done seen people get like thousands of dollars just a month off of doing content about finances, bro. It probably one of the categories that pays the most. So it's like appreciate the happy poop, Misty. Yes, Mina. Yes, say they. Let me see what she said. Okay, since said people will see Jesus as a fraud if he was all up for money, but Jesus only wanted influence. That's why it's common for people nowadays want to be influencers. Yeah, it's just like but it's like if you look at people like Charleston White, like he basically like turned the situation like the YouTube thing, but he basically admitted that he basically was uh putting up a damn facade. He was basically playing a character, see, on his channel, and he said it was making him money acting like that, so that's why he kept acting like that. But to me, I wouldn't feel right being see, I believe anybody could do that, but it's to me, it's like I see where what he's saying, like, oh, that he's looking at it like his job or career, or that's how he makes his money. But I just feel like to each his own, everybody different. I don't really feel the need to do something like that. Like it's like say everybody do what they do for different reasons. But it is what I guess he got his thing got shut down or something because of I don't know, it's just stuff he would say. That's the reason why I said you gotta be careful what you say in on live or what you say in videos, because like, you gotta follow the policies or whatnot. So like with Charleston White, I don't think he really cared. And he just likes, it's a lot of things, like a whole lot of cussing, a whole lot of stuff can make your videos not perform well. But it's like, you just gotta have a different, like a Patreon or something extra to, you know, send your viewers, so that way if you do want to curse or have more, raw round the edges type of content, you got to do it on the, bring them to another platform. But like me, I'm working on my memberships and trying to get everything organized and back up. But it's like I have to set time aside, because like with the like it's a lot that I be doing on the day to day, like working a whole lot. So I just gotta take the time aside and actually set everything up. But I will. and set up I'm thinking about setting up a Facebook group, but I have to check into that because now I think now with Facebook they're doing something different. It's like back then there wasn't nothing like what it is now. So I think now what is it that people are doing reels? Are they getting like monetization or something for doing reels nowadays? Does anybody know? Cause I be seeing everybody on Facebook doing uh everybody be on Facebook doing reels now. I'm just late. Maybe I'm just late. I probably am late about that because I really don't use Facebook a whole lot unless I'm like on Marketplace. Also, Janae, you said yeah, that's what they're doing. They actually get something from doing those the videos on Facebook. Let me see. Misty said that program went on for a while. Remember one of the boys, Luke, in high school after we moved it back. It was like we were drawn to each other. I hadn't seen him since the third grade. Damn. Yeah, yeah, that's how it be though, for sure. Um, I've seen people, and I was gonna do a video about that too. I feel like um when it be a little, I say it's hard for a Pisces man, Pisces woman to get together. It's like, or to stay together. It's not because there's like issues or anything. It's just that I think because we're too much alike, I feel like it's hard for um, like there okay, with the conflict situation, there's the same amount of conflict usually, but it's just the fact that when you see too much of yourself in another person, it allows you, it makes you, it pulls you in a different direction. It pulls you away from the person because you're like, oh, this person can see me and I can see them. And it's like sometimes that intuition, that knowing, that inner knowing, it can scare both of you. It's like to the point where the Pisces woman gonna see some things in you that you probably don't really want, or that you really need, and it's like vice versa. And it's like I think that mysterious type of vibe is what makes it to where you both of you end up running from each other, but not like in a rejection situation. It's more like, damn, this person actually knows something about me that I don't know. See, because I had a situation like this happen where every time I meet a Pisces woman, and then like if I show interest, it's like she ends up disappearing from me. So it's like the other time that happened, I was salty. I was like, oh shit, like I thought like you know it was just like it's crazy how she just disappeared, and I was just like, damn, you know, I didn't even get a chance to really like talk to her like for a long period of time. So it's like I just think she got overwhelmed because I was talking about like all the mysterious stuff with her because um we were talking about the signs, and she was like, yeah, you know a lot about this stuff, but like I'm literally like thinking like we really talking about something together, and then like she spurred on me like, oh, she's talking to someone now, and but just a week ago she was single. So I'm just like, okay, I'm confused now. Like, but then like the craziest thing is like if I know somebody else is in the picture, it just makes me like just say forget it. I'm just one of them type people like just forget it then. And then this was the thing, I got ready to leave. We both left at the same time. And the craziest thing, she had her friend, she had a friend with her, and I'm like, okay, you got my number, and I'm like, just hit me up. And then she like took the number, but then like the friend was acting weird, like she had her back towards me, and it was just like this dry, like a dry feeling as I got to, because I was leaving, and I noticed she said, I gotta go now because I was yapping, I was talking a whole lot. And then it was like once we came out the door, the friend had her back towards me, and I was like, "Oh, what y'all doing like later tomorrow? Woo woo." Just trying to see like, oh, we reconnect somehow. And then I realized that I was getting I was getting like kind of dismissed, and I was like, "Oh shit, they dismissing me," like as if how like you could tell when somebody's dismissing you, very dismissive, like they're trying to get rid of you. So I was like, "Oh." I said, "Don't worry. I ain't gonna bother y'all. I ain't gonna bother y'all." But that meant like I'm done. Like, cause I felt that I knew what they were doing. It was like they were just telling me like, get lost type of thing, to where when she told me she had the boyfriend situation, she knew that I was trying to pry into, oh, are you single and whatnot. And then boom. I'm like, damn, why? But then when I had started to think about the whole thing, I realized that I invited myself over there. I should have waited for her to, send the invitation. But me, I was like, oh, I'll push up on you, meaning like I'll come over there. So when I realized that they were like, oh, they had their back turned towards me. And then she's like, oh, well, catch you later. It's just the way she said it, like, oh, catch you later. Like, um, the friend was like, take care. I look over there. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, okay, yeah, you take care too. Like, I made sure she heard that in emphasis. Like, yeah, you take care too, cause I wasn't coming back either. I'm like, no, I ain't coming back. I'm done, bro. It was just like weird because I do notice like you have to always, if something feels off, that's because it is off. See, that's just the moral of the story. If it feels off, something that is not registering right, or how a person says something. You have to watch their tone. It's different words that a person will use, like, oh, catch you later, talk to you later. But if someone says take care and they say it like take care, like it's like, it's like they're not saying take care as they're saying is, they're basically saying get the hell out of here, like, um you know get away from here or something. So it was just like in that situation. But she was a Pisces, and I feel like the friend made it worse. See, the friend made it worse because me and her little friend, we already had like words about me telling her like you just can't go around talking to everybody, especially when you first meet people. And she didn't like that. She didn't like what I had said to her. And then it was just like I felt like she was just, you know, annoyed and trying to get her friend to not talk to me, like, because that was just weird. But one thing about us Pisces is sometimes like when you have different friendships with people and you realize like, oh, these friends are not behaving like friends, or then that makes you just dissolve all boundaries, and then you start over. You're like, yo, I'm gonna start over and just do this thing over with, especially when you realize you've made many connections and it seems like the people aren't really friendly, or they're not really behaving like friends. You're just quick to just cut them off, because I realized that, like today I was just associating myself with a few people. Long story short, I wasn't included in the conversation. I wasn't included. I could tell that they were trying to ease me out of certain conversations. So I was like, cool, cool, I'm cool with it. I ended up just detaching, because my moon in Aquarius, when I feel like, oh, someone's purposely trying to, keep me out of a topic or a conversation. It was about a female, obviously. And they were talking about, messing with this one female. And then they didn't want me to be a part of that. See, And that's what I begin to see the true colors. But long story short, I just realized that you have to, when you see shit that doesn't look right, trust that. Like if somebody's trying to exclude you from a conversation, but that's supposed to be your boy or that's supposed to be somebody you cool with, and let's say they're talking about a female and a party going on, and then all of a sudden they're only speaking about that with the other person, the other dude, and it's like you're sitting there like, okay, you ain't gonna most people include other people, like, or they'll say, yo, we're going to a party, you want to come? Or hey, whoop de woo. And it's like, I realized, like, nah, don't, I would never invite myself to something, you know, that I wasn't invited into, or a conversation that I wasn't involved in. I just be like, nah. So I ended up having to like just block them folks, because either you gonna be cool with somebody or you not. It ain't gonna be no funny acting, you know, excluding folks and being rude, and just no, I'm not even gonna try to figure it out, if that makes sense. Now let me see. Okay, Misty said, okay, Janae said about the reels, the other posted videos. Oh, okay, for sure. Appreciate that. Misty said, behalf of us Pisces women really be like Aquarius with it sometimes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I feel like if I was to get what, you know, if it was the one-on-one situation with her, I feel like I possibly could have like got better dialogue with her. But because her friend was around and her friend was a Taurus and her friend was just being obnoxious, I feel like that was just messing up the whole vibe. Let me see. Since they said I had a Pisces woman at the weed dispo, uh asked me my plans for the weekend, told her her demeanor was like she was interested because I said my girl loves hanging with other pretty women. Damn. And then you said she tells me to look out for text from her, just for her to never text. That's crazy. Yeah, and that's the thing, like I feel like a little bit of that was going on. I just felt like, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like they was playing in my face, bro. Like they was playing in my face to where I came over there. We were literally just, we were literally talking, vibing. But then, like, when I checked their temperature or her temperature, I could tell like she really wasn't interested in talking to me. Like, and as I was yapping like I'm doing now, I could tell like she was annoyed and kind of like, oh, like when is he gonna stop talking type of situation. Like, and because I was in their living room, she literally was like, okay, he gotta go. And then I'm sure the sister or the friend, them sitting there, I'm sure she was like, oh, yeah, yeah, take his ass outside. Like, and then once we got outside, they got quiet. Like, okay, we're outside. Maybe if we just maybe if we just stop, responding, he'll just leave or catch the hint. So I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there like, yo, what y'all doing tomorrow? Cause it's awkward. I'm like, what y'all doing tomorrow? Cause if I don't say nothing and y'all not talking, is this the last time I see y'all? So let me know. And I'm the type of person, if I feel like you like being passive with me, then I'm gonna just either say something disrespectful just so I could confirm that, y'all trying to be dismissive. And then I'm like, okay, when I said, oh, Taurus, even though I knew the Taurus woman didn't like me, I'm like, oh, Taurus, I'm like, yo, you I said her name, I'm like, yo, you I said, yo, we gonna talk again? And she was like, take care, like that. So I was like, she had her back turned towards me. She was on her phone and she looked over her shoulder, was like, take care. And I'm like, oh, you take care too. Then, like, little heifer, I ain't shit. I ain't stupid. I know what y'all doing. And then I'm just like, okay, oh well. And I just left. And then like I had like the Pisces number, and I just blocked her. I just blocked her, didn't tell her nothing, didn't send any text messages. I just blocked her ASAP because I didn't want to like I felt that feeling of feeling like a person really don't like me, but they're just listening to me talk, and it's like I was just like, oh shit, like she ain't feeling me, bro. That it is what it is. So just move on. So that's the whole intuition, like boom. Don't over pursue, or you already got the information. So it was just making me feel like at the end of it, it was like, damn, why you do me like that? And I felt like, the Pisces dude was trying to like I knew the Pisces dude, and this was his little ball or whatever. But it's like, to me, I feel like, well, it wasn't his ball, like, and like he was trying to talk to her, but I guess a situation happened to him. But yeah, it's just the mere fact that when you're dealing with Pisces, you just have to be like, only way you're gonna know if you really, really, if the Pisces woman really, really like you, is that you're gonna get more emotion. You're gonna get more feeling, like, to where she would keep, tell you something like, oh, guess what happened on my job? Or she gets into like a want to tell you something that happened, and she really, let you see her emotions with it. Then that'll let you know, like, okay, this is really legit. Like, she really, really rock with me. Like, but the crazy thing about it is the guy she said that she was talking to, she's like saying, oh, and this is what gave it away. Like, this is what blew her cover. She said, I said, oh, I said, damn, you started talking to somebody like a week later, a week ago, you was just single. And then she was like, yeah. She was like, oh, actually, he's a cool guy. And then she said, oh yeah, he's so quiet. He's just really, really quiet and nice. I said, oh, okay. So you thinking me yapping and talking too much? I get what you're insinuating. Like, okay. See, you gotta understand, like, when you read in between the lines, you read in between the lies. It's cold blooded. Let me stop, because now I'm going off into another thing. Now this is wisdom, bro, that I'm giving y'all. This is sauce, because you got to, when a person is speaking to you, you have to read in between what they're saying, bro. Because a lot of times people, especially when they're passive, they don't want to hurt your feelings, and they just say stuff. Oh, he's so quiet. That lets you know what she likes, right? It's not even about him. She's basically speaking her thoughts out because she's annoyed. See? Now the crazy thing is that she's not showing the annoyance in a more truthful way. She's showing it in an emotional way, to where she's like trying to get you to stop, but not telling you that you're actually, being annoying, you're talking too much. So that's why I was just like, okay, boom. But okay, you out, Misty. Appreciate you coming out. Let me see. Another thing says she tells me to look out for a text from her, just from her to never text. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. He said, you take the extreme offense to that passive aggressive. Like, I used to, but like, I think, see, I used to take offense to a lot of stuff. Okay, like, so that was like when I was younger, and when I was older, here and there. But like, what I began to notice is it's not necessary for a reaction. Like it's more like you just take it as is. She's not interested. She's not interested. But some people that can't just tell you straight up, it just make you feel like, well, damn, obviously you must care somewhat. See, you must like me somewhat to care enough how I feel. Because guess what? If a person don't give a damn about how you feel, they just gonna be straight up with you and tell you, I'm not interested. Like, why you even let me in your house? You let me come in your living room. You could have just kept it outside the whole time. Like, you created the setting that, okay, we were talking. Then once your friend came in the picture, which I didn't even know she was over there. Her friend was upstairs. When her friend came downstairs, the whole vibe changed to where, oh, you with this dude? This the dude I don't like. Like, okay, so then I feel like she just influenced the situation to make her just like say, okay, well, he could just leave then, like in other words, because it was making her friend feel uncomfortable, me being there. Um, and then, obviously the Taurus woman, she held a grudge, from something I said like 2 weeks ago before that. So it was like she only literally was acting like that because she was still mad, you see. Now, let me see. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't. I love y'all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.